700 करोड़ से 1100 करोड़ रुपया तक होता है। बहुत सारा एयरलाइन यहाँ बंद हो गया, स्टार्ट किया और फिर जा करके बंद हो गया। अब तो 2 ही एयरलाइन है मेजर, 60% से ज़्यादा शेयर एक एयरलाइन के पास है और एक एयर इंडिया है इंडिगो के अलावा। लार्जली वही पूरा मार्केट को लेके चलता है और लीजिंग एयरलाइन के लिए एक बेहतर विकल्प होता है क्योंकि इसमें प्राइमरी इन्वेस्टमेंट से बचने में सहायता होता है और जो गिफ्ट सिटी विमान लीजिंग कंपनियों को 10 साल की कर की छूट देती है। जब गिफ्ट सिटी गुजरात में आया है और डीजीसीए ने गिफ्ट सिटी में रजिस्टर्ड लीजरों को विमान लीज पर लेने या इंपोर्ट करने से पहले प्रायर अप्रूवल देने में से छूट दी है। टू सम एक्सटेंट दिस हैज वर्कड सिंस 2019 मोर देन 26 एयरक्राफ्ट लीजिंग entities including some global players have been registered there. However, only a handful of these established entities have actually engaged in leasing transaction. लेकिन अब सरकार इस स्थिति को बदलना चाहती है ताकि भारत का विमान लीजिंग क्षेत्र वैश्विक मानकों का अनुरूप और निवेशकों के लिए आकर्षक बन सके। This bill gives lessors something they have wanted for years. लीजरों का सबसे बड़ा डर ये था कि अगर वो किसी एयरलाइन को विमान किराए पर देते हैं, वो एयरलाइन दिवालिया हो जाए तो बहुत लंबा टाइम लग जाता था उनको उसको ये करने के लिए, उसको वहाँ से निकालने के लिए और अपने विमान को वापस पाने के लिए वो लीगल बैटल बड़ा लंबा होता था। जैसा पहले किंगफिशर, जेट एयरवेज और गो फर्स्ट एयरलाइन के मामले में हुआ, लीजर अपने विमानों को वापस नहीं ले पाए और इंसॉल्वेंसी ट्रिब्यूनल ने, हम लोग देखते थे एयरपोर्ट पर लाइन से लगा हुआ प्लेन खड़ा रहता था वहाँ पर, क्योंकि इसलिए कि वो ट्रिब्यूनल में जाते थे और लंबे समय तक वो फैसला नहीं होता था। इस नए विधेयक के आने से अगर कोई एयरलाइन डिफॉल्ट करती है तो लीजर केवल 2 महीने में भीतर अपना विमान वापस ले सकता है। इसके अलावा किसी भी विवाद को ट्रिब्यूनल नहीं जा करके सीधे हाई कोर्ट भी जा सकता है। इसके अलावा एक मुझे एक जो इम्पोर्टेंट इसमें इशू रह गया था वो कि लीजिंग के मदद से एयरलाइन एक बड़े कर्ज से बचती है और लीजिंग व्यापार का एक वैश्विक आकार बहुत बड़ा हो गया। जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि इंडिया में भी 90% प्लेन लीज पे लिया हुआ है, खरीदा कम गया है। 6 साल पहले 2019 के बजट भाषण में फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने विमान लीजिंग उद्योग में प्रवेश की घोषणा की थी और यह कदम भारतीय एयरलाइन के लिए एक बेहतरीन अवसर है। अब उन्हें विमान लीज पर लेने के लिए दूसरों देशों पर निर्भर नहीं रहना पड़ेगा, जैसे कि 3-4 जो कंट्री है जहां से लीज लेके आता है। अब भारत में भी एयरलाइन अपने घरेलू विमान लीजिंग बाजार से विमान ले सकती है, जिससे उन्हें लागत में कमी और अधिक स्वतंत्रता मिलेगी। इसके अलावा जो नए विधेयक हैं, अगर इस वजह से, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ये फैसिलिटी नहीं था, इसलिए पिछले साल यूनाइटेड किंगडम के स्थित है एविएशन वर्किंग ग्रुप AWG ने लीजरों के लिए कम सुरक्षा के कारण भारत की रेटिंग को हाई रिस्क में डाउनग्रेड कर दिया था। इसका असर वह हुआ कि भारतीय एयरलाइन के लिए लीजिंग करना बहुत महंगा हो गया और अब विधेयक लागू होने के साथ ये विधेयक जो AWG ने भारत की रेटिंग को मीडियम रिस्क जुरिडिक्शन में फिर से अपग्रेड कर दिया है और यह विधेयक कानून बन गया तो भारत की रेटिंग और भी बेटर हो जाएगी। लेकिन एक बात मैं मंत्री जी से जरूर कहना चाहूँगा कि दीज ग्लोबल लीजिंग कंपनीज सर्वाइव ऑन द सपोर्ट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन। फॉर इंस्टेंस, यूरोपियन बैंक सपोर्ट लीजिंग बिजनेस इन आयरलैंड। सिमिलरली, द गवर्नमेंट ओन टेम्सेक होल्डिंग एंड सिंगापुरियन बैंक सपोर्ट लीजिंग फर्म इन सिंगापुर। भारत में इस तरह का कोई प्रावधान नहीं है क्योंकि बैंक विमानन से जुड़ी किसी भी चीज को लोन देने में रिलक्टेंट रहता है। इसका परिणाम यह है कि गिफ्ट सिटी में काम कर रहे लेसर को भी विदेशी फंडिंग पर निर्भर करना पड़ता है। तो जरूर इस पर विचार करना चाहिए कि फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन अगर सपोर्ट कर सकता है तो। और 1 मिनट में, क्योंकि ये तो टेक्निकल बात जो आप बिल ला रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं बिहार से आता हूं और 3 इशू आपका वहां बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। एक, इस बार के बजट में ही आदरणीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने एक ग्रीनफील्ड इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट पटना के पास अनाउंस किया है, तो उसको जो भी उसका लोकेशन है उसको तत्काल अगर फाइनल करके उस पर काम शुरू हो जाता तो बिहार में कोई भी आदरणीय उपसभापति महोदय कोई भी इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट नहीं है भी गया में, तो उस हिसाब से फंक्शनल नहीं है। पटना के पास तो है ही नहीं, उतना बड़ा रनवे ही नहीं है। एक ये था, एक दरभंगा और पूर्णिया दोनों एयरपोर्ट एक साथ अनाउंस हुआ। दरभंगा फंक्शनल है, पूर्णिया अभी तक फंक्शनल नहीं हो पाया, तो वो भी एक फंक्शनल हो जाता। एंड लास्ट, दरभंगा एयरपोर्ट एक सक्सेसफुल एयरपोर्ट है। हम लोगों ने, मुख्यमंत्री जी ने वहाँ और लैंड एक्वायर करने का काम शुरू कर दिया है और वहाँ से प्रपोजल भी आया है चीफ सेक्रेटरी से कि उसको इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट बना देने के लिए दरभंगा को, तो उस पर भी अगर कोई विचार करके फाइनल कर देते तो ठीक रहता। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
श्री सदानंद महालू, सेठ तानवड़े।
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. I stand before this House today to extend my support for the protection of interest in Aircraft Bill, Object Bill 2025, and to emphasize its significance of India's aviation sector. Sir, this bill seeks to provide legal backing to the Convention of International Interest in Mobile Equipment, Cape Town Convention 2001, and its protocol on matters specific to aircraft equipment, ensuring their enforceability within our jurisdiction. Sir, here I would like to add that while India signed the Cape Town Convention in 2008, the absence of ratification has so far prevented its provision from being legally binding. Therefore, the introduction of this bill will legally enact the Cape Town Convention in India. It marks a crucial step toward addressing this gap, strengthening investor confidence, and enhancing India's global standing in the aviation sector. As one of the world's largest growing aviation markets, India's air travel sector has experienced a rapid increasing growth with an estimated market size of $13.89 billion in 2024, which is expected to reach $26.8 billion by 2030. This incredible growth, aircraft leasing has emerged as an important aspect of the Indian aviation industry. It is a practice in which the airlines and aviation operators rent aircraft from leasing companies rather than purchasing them. Till date, India does not have any specific law dealing with aircraft leasing and financing of airplanes, which may involve different countries. With this new law, airplanes will get in competitive rate to airlines and aviation operation. Currently, lessors face higher risk in India due to uncertainties in repossession rights in case an airline defaults on payment. The risk forces lessors to change a higher risk premium, extra cost to cover potential losses, making leasing more expensive for Indian airlines. These higher leasing costs are ultimately passed on to passengers in the form of higher airfares. So air tickets become more costly. Passengers has to pay more fares. Therefore, if the bill is passed in the Parliament into an act, will ratify the Cape Town Convention, thereby automatically guaranteeing the rights of lessors to repossess their leased equipment, such as airframes, aircraft engines, and helicopters. This will bring down the cost of risk premium. Sir, this bill seeks to enhance the leasing framework in India in power with international standard, and through this the legislation is expected to lower cost, improve accessibility to air travel, and attract investment as India anticipates a surge in aircraft acquisition. Over 1,000 new craft by the end of this decade. This will further make air travel more affordable for the people of our country. Sir, as a representative from Goa, a tourist destination, which sees increasing footfall each year, I cannot overstate the importance of the bill. During peak season, we all know that airfares skyrocket, making travel unaffordable not only for tourists, but also for Goa's local residents who rely on air travel for work, medical needs, education, and family visits. I believe, sir, the high cost of leasing aircraft, along with limited availability, directly contributes to these inflated airfares. Sir, I am an essential aspect of this bill is its provision for financial transparency and accountability. The proposed legislation mandates that debtors must maintain and submit records of dues related to the ownership or use an aircraft or aircraft object to the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. This requirement will ensure that leasing transactions remain transparent, preventing dispute over unpaid dues and fostering greater confidence among lessors, creditors and regulatory bodies. Sir, after 2014, after Modi government came to power, the civil aviation has changed the more development in civil aviation. Airports अगर हम देखें तो the total number of airports in India 74 2014 से पहले थे, अभी 159 एयरपोर्ट पूरा देश में बने हैं. हमारा गोवा इज वेरी स्मॉल विद अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ अराउंड 16-17 lakhs. गोवा में 2 एयरपोर्ट है, नॉर्थ गोवा में अलग है, साउथ गोवा में भी अलग है. पैसेंजर अगर ग्रोथ हम देखें तो पैसेंजर ड्यूरिंग अप टू जनवरी 2024 टू December 2024 161 million as against 152 million during the previous year. That is a growth of 6.1%. Total aircraft for scheduled operation has increased from 400 in 2014 to 836 as on 28 to 2025. Regional Connectivity Service, that is RCS Uda Desh Ka Nagrik. Air travel becomes more accessible to people, connecting 88 airlines including 13 helicopters and 2 water aerodrome. More than 148.62 lakhs people has availed benefit of Udan scheme since its inception. कृषि में उड़ान में अगर देखें तो जो टोटल एग्रीकल्चर जो प्रोडक्शन जो वेस्ट होता है, इसके लिए कृषि उद्यान के माध्यम से ये फैसिलिटी एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए की है और उसका भी फायदा देश के फार्मर के लिए हो रहा है. ऑपरेशन गंगा के माध्यम से हमने देखा कि जब यूक्रेन का युद्ध हुआ तो 22,500 इंडियंस नेशनल were safely rescued from Ukraine by operating 90 evacuation flights from 1st February 2022 to 11th March 2022. अगर डिगी यात्रा में हम देखें तो फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन टेक्नोलॉजी, इस माध्यम से एनी ट्रेवलर में पास थ्रू वेरियस चेक पॉइंट्स ऑफ द एयरपोर्ट थ्रू पेपरलेस एंड कॉन्टैक्टलेस प्रोसेसिंग यूजिंग फेशियल फीचर्स टू एस्टैब्लिश द आइडेंटिटी. और देश के 24 एयरपोर्ट्स पे ये फैसिलिटी उपलब्ध की है. मुझे गर्व है कि गोवा का हमारा जो मोपा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट है वो एयरपोर्ट पे भी ये फैसिलिटी दी गई है. लीजिंग ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट हमने देखा तो विद द एनेबल्स इन प्लेस फ्रॉम जीरो बेज इन 2014 एज ऑफ 31st December 2024 33 एयरक्राफ्ट लीजिंग एंटिटीज हैव रजिस्टर्ड इन गिफ्ट IFSC for undertaking aircraft leasing business. इसमें कार्गो का अगर हम देखें, कार्गो में भी काफ़ी सुधार और ज़्यादा बिजनेस जो है वो कार्गो में भी हो रहा है. इंडिया री-इलेक्शन ICAO काउंसिल में जो इंडिया ड्यूरिंग 41st जनरल असेंबली ऑफ ICAO, इंडिया हैज़ बीन री-इलेक्टेड टू द ICAO काउंसिल 2022-25 अंडर पार्ट 2 comprising of countries which make the largest contribution to the provision of facilities for international civil air navigation. Ease of doing, जो भारतीय वायुयान विधेयक पास होने के बाद ये रिफॉर्म हुआ है, लेजिस्लेचर रिफॉर्म होने हुआ है और मॉडर्नाइजिंग इंडियाज एविएशन सेक्टर में भी काफ़ी सुधार हुआ है. और इसके लिए अगर हम देखें सर कि ये बिल जो है, ये बिल इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिल. इसके लिए मैं हमारे मंत्री जी को भी अभिनंदन करता हूँ और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ. और सर, ऑल ऑफ दिस टेल अस हाउ मेरिटोरियस दिस बिल इज. इट विल प्रोवाइड द मच नीडेड स्टैट्यूटरी फ्रेमवर्क टू डील विद द लीगल ऑब्स्टेकल्स in the event of insolvency of an airline company, as well as make aviation financing and leasing transactions simpler and certain. It will further improve contract and enforceability and provide the creditors, lessors, with a way out to either to take back the aircraft objects or have their dues paid. Therefore, I support the bill of the Aircraft Object 2025. Thank you, sir.
धन्यवाद. श्री संतोष कुमार P.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, since we are a signatory to an important international convention, we have to follow the same and we have to implement it in our country. And we have to protect the interests of passengers, creditors, and all those stakeholders related to the industry. Sir, I take this opportunity to raise a few questions, queries through you, sir, to the Minister. The first thing is that do we have any data related to the total credits of Indian investors, I mean banks and other financial institutions? Now we are talking about an international obligation. Yes, of course, we have to implement the same. But the point is that we know one gentleman who was a member of this August House, who came to the House with the support of a former Prime Minister and who was the leader of that party for some time. Later on, he looted our country and its people, and now somewhere in London. People like Malia and others are there. So what about the liability created by these people? Are we going to solve this? When we talk about international issues and international creditors, are we in a position to help our banks to regain its own money? It's a very serious issue. So my request is that we have to reconsider the criteria, because people will come and offer that we are ready to offer airline business, and the government is allowing without understanding their capacity. Then later on we have to pay the price for it. So please consider this particular point. So secondly, Civil Aviation Ministry is having a very meager amount as budget allocation comparing other ministries. So now the Civil Aviation Minister, Department, Director General of this aviation will function more. There are many duties assigned to him. So do you think that with this limited amount, performance is proper, you can perform proper? I don't think so. So we need to enhance the budgetary allocation also. Otherwise, the entire area is left for private players only. Airline routes, price, everything as suggested by pointed out to many speakers, is under the control of private players only. The Aviation Ministry is in a way a mute spectator. So it cannot dictate any company. For example, now when we talk about the plight of the passengers, I fear tomorrow the private airlines may charge us for even using washrooms. Now they are charging for seats. Tomorrow there is every chance of taking money from us for using washrooms. So this is the sorry state of affairs of the poor passengers. So how you are going to tackle these types of issues? When we all are in agreement of implementing the international convention, we have to take care of this. Finally, sir, whenever we people from Kerala stand up to talk on this Civil Aviation Ministry, the minister thinks that they will raise the issues related to Kannur International Airport. I don't want to talk much about that. So many people, so many organizations, so many politicians already pointed out the issues related to Kannur International Airport. It's public money, people's money. So political consideration should not be there. We have every right to get it. So please give this point of call status to Kannur International Airport. Thank you.
Thank you. Sri Babu Ram Nishad. Sri Babu Ram Nishad. Anupasthit. Sri A. Rahim.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the bill seeks to provide a legal framework for protecting the rights of lessors and financiers in aircraft transactions. However, this bill should be discussed in the broader perspective of how it affects the lives of common people. Sir, the union government has already opened the Indian aviation sector to Indian corporates. My colleague, Comrade P. Santosh Kumar, already mentioned the same here. Now, through this bill, it is further opening the doors for international corporates as well, sir. That is my concern. The minister must clarify how this bill is going to benefit the common people. Air travel is becoming increasingly inaccessible for the ordinary citizens. That is my concern. That is not only my concern. So many of my colleagues already mentioned the same concern in this House. A study by Airports Council International, ACI, reveals that India has recorded the second highest increase in domestic airfares in the Asia Pacific and West Asian regions. So, what the take of the government in this regard? See, 43% of rising in terms of fare, according to this report. Can you imagine the plight of expertise in the Gulf region? As you know that we are representing Kerala, a lot of our brothers and sisters have been working over there. Actually, can you imagine the plight of those NRIs? They work there throughout the year and only occasionally get a leave, sir. This is yesterday was the Eid day, the Holy Ramadan day, the Eid day, even in Onam, and so many other events. In connection with those events, they can come to their homeland, come back to their homeland. But unfortunately, the NRIs, the Pravasis can't come even if they get the leave. Even they get the leaves, they can't come due to the exorbitant hike of the travel fare. So, Comrade Santosh already mentioned here, what is the role of the union government? Sir, just a minute, sir. I have time. Sir, can you imagine the plight of these passengers? Another one thing is that the government is making laws that favor of corporates. But where are the policies that protect the interest of common citizens? Sir, I would like to flag just a minute, sir. Flag an important report of Department Related Standing Committee, 356th Department of Standing Committee, Transport, Tourism and Culture, recommended measures to control airfare and make air travel accessible to the common man. What is the government role? What is the government take? Then another one thing is that regarding the Kannur Airport, international airport, this is a burning issue from the Kerala. So, you given the point of call status to Mopa Airport in Goa, which is a non-metro airport. But all infrastructure is there, but even though they did not give the point of call status for Kannur International Airport.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Honorable Minister, please look into
Haris
it.
Viran.
Please.
Sri Haris Viran.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, this legislation is a very necessary legislation. I agree to that fact. It will bring clarity for the international lessors and all as to if there is a default, what is to be done. But let us understand that this particular legislation has been brought about not because of any foresight, but because under the pressure of crisis, triggered by the insolvency of a lot of airlines, the latest being the Go First Airlines, plus the global downgrade of India's aviation leasing environment. Now, sir, I would like, through you, sir, the Honourable Minister, to particularly note 2 points. First point is, sir, as per Section 9 of the bill, Section 9 states that in case of an inconsistency between a provision of this Act and any other law for the time being in force, the provisions of this Act shall prevail to the extent of such inconsistency. Now, sir, this bill, in fact, has been brought about because of certain provisions of the IBC, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Because once there is insolvency and bankruptcy code proceedings, then a moratorium creeps in, and once the moratorium is there, you won't be able to take your machines out. Now, but problem is about the IBC code. There is a provision under the IBC code, Section 238. Section 238 of the IBC code says The provisions of this code shall have effect, notwithstanding anything inconsistent therewith contained in any other law for the time being in force, or any instrument having effect by virtue of any such law. So IBC code says, notwithstanding any other law, the IBC will prevail. Our law, section 9 in the present bill states that notwithstanding any other law, our law will prevail. Now, our law has been brought in because of the provisions of the IBC. Therefore, I think there is some inconsistency between the provisions of our bill and the IBC. My suggestion will be that you can incorporate in section 9 of our bill that notwithstanding anything contained in IBC specifically, so that this particular inconsistency you can get over. That is my suggestion. To the Honourable Minister. Now, sir, section 9(3) of the bill, it preserves India's sovereign right to arrest or detain an aircraft, which is a very welcome change. But I urge the government to clarify how in practice this right will be exercised in the face of aggressive international enforcement by lessors. While Indian public sector dues and the claims of airport operators and employees receive equal priority and swift resolution, or will they be left struggling while aircraft are swiftly deregistered and removed from Indian soil? Sir, this particular legislation is in fact for the purpose for the airline industry to prosper. Now, for the airline industry to prosper, our airports also will have to prosper. Sir, in Kerala, there are 2 airports. One is the Calicut airport, sir. Now, it is a time for the Hajj pilgrims to go for Hajj. The difference between the Calicut International Airport and Kannur, which is just 80 kilometers, is 40,000 rupees. You are charging 40,000 more from the Calicut Airport. Calicut Airport is the place where you have the Hajj embarkation point, Hajj terminal. Just 30 seconds, sir. Just 30 seconds. Hajj terminal, everything. Now, this particular inconsistency is because you are not allowing the wide-bodied aircrafts to land in Calicut Airport. So also the problem with the Kannur Airport is that you can land wide-bodied aircraft. The problem is that you don't give point of call status over there. So if you want the airline industry to prosper over there, along with these legislations, I beseech the Honourable Minister through you, sir, that these measures also be taken. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sri Ravi Chandra Vaddi Raju.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chairman, sir.
Telugu mein
Telugu, sir.
will speak in Telugu.
Sir, the protection of interest in aircraft object bill 2025 మీద మాట్లాడే అవకాశం ఇచ్చినందుకు ధన్యవాదాలు, సార్. ఈ బిల్లు భారతదేశ విమానయాన రంగాన్ని మరింత బలోపేతం చేయగల సామర్థ్యం కలిగిన ఒక కీలకమైన చట్టపరమైన సంస్కరణ అని అభిప్రాయపడుతున్నాను. ఇది కేవలం చట్టపరమైన మార్పు మాత్రమే కాదు, భారతదేశాన్ని అంతర్జాతీయ స్థాయిలో విమానయాన పరిశ్రమలో నాయకత్వం వహించేలా చేసే ఒక దిశగా తీసుకున్న కీలకమైన చర్యగా అభిప్రాయపడుతున్నాను. ఈ బిల్లు భారతదేశ విమానయాన పరిశ్రమ భవిష్యత్తును రక్షించడం, అంతర్జాతీయ పెట్టుబడిదారుల నమ్మకాన్ని పెంచడం, భారతీయులకు విమానయానాన్ని మరింత అందుబాటులోకి తేవడం అనే లక్ష్యాలను సాధించేందుకు సహాయపడుతుందని పూర్తిగా నమ్ముతున్నాను. భారతదేశ విమానయాన రంగ ప్రస్తుత పరిస్థితి గురించి ఒకసారి సభ దృష్టికి తీసుకురావాలనుకుంటున్నాను. గత సంవత్సరం సుమారు 376.43 మిలియన్ల ప్రయాణికులు భారతదేశం మీద ప్రయాణించారు. 2030 నాటికి భారత్, అమెరికా మరియు చైనా తర్వాత ప్రపంచంలో 3వ అతిపెద్ద విమానయాన మార్కెట్గా మారే అవకాశం ఉందని నా అభిప్రాయం. ఇప్పటికే ఇండిగో, ఎయిర్ ఇండియా వంటి ఎయిర్లైన్స్ 1000కి పైగా కొత్త విమానాల కోసం ఆర్డర్లు ఇచ్చాయి. అలాగే విమానాశ్రయాల సంఖ్య 153 నుంచి 350కి పెరిగే అవకాశం ఉంది. ఇది గొప్ప విజయంగా సాధించినట్టుగా భావిస్తున్నాను. ఈ చర్య చేస్తున్నటువంటి ఈ శాఖ మంత్రి గారికి నేను అభినందనలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ, తెలంగాణకు సంబంధించినటువంటి ముఖ్యమైన అంశం హైదరాబాద్లో రాజీవ్ గాంధీ అంతర్జాతీయ విమానాశ్రయం నుంచి ప్రధాన కేంద్రం అది. హైదరాబాద్ అయినప్పటికీ అమెరికాకు నేరుగా ఎలాంటి విమానాలు లేవు. 2023-24 ఆర్థిక సంవత్సరంలో 10.2 లక్షల మంది ప్రయాణికులు హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి అమెరికాకు ప్రయాణించారు. 40% మంది ఢిల్లీ నుంచి అమెరికాకు ప్రయాణించే ప్రయాణికులు తెలంగాణ మరియు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ వాళ్లే. కానీ 90% ఆక్రమణతో నడిచిన షికాగో, హైదరాబాద్ నేరుగా విమాన సేవలు రద్దు చేయబడ్డాయి. కాబట్టి హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి నేను మీ ద్వారా మంత్రివారిని అడుగుతున్నాను, హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి నేరుగా న్యూయార్క్, షికాగో, డల్లాస్, శాన్ ఫ్రాన్సిస్కో వంటి నగరాలకు నేరుగా విమాన సర్వీసులను పునరుద్ధరించాలని చెప్పేసి మంత్రి గారిని కోరుతున్నాను. ఇంకా తెలంగాణలో ఇప్పటికే గౌరవనీయుల మంత్రివారులు మాకు వరంగల్ ఎప్పుడో పాత 70 నుంచి 80లో నడిచినటువంటి విమానాశ్రయాన్ని మరి పునరుద్ధరించినందుకు గౌరవ మంత్రివర్యులు రామ్మోహన్ నాయుడు గారికి మా బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీ తరఫున ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుకుంటూ, ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా ఒకటి మాకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటంటే భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం గ్రీన్ఫీల్డ్ ఎయిర్పోర్ట్, తర్వాత జక్రాన్పల్లి కూడా ల్యాండ్ సేకరించి రెడీగా ఉన్నది. రామగుండం కూడా అట్లాగే ఆదిలాబాద్ ప్రత్యేకంగా వీటికి విమానాశ్రయాలు ఏర్పాటు కావాలని చెప్పేసి మేము 10 ఏళ్ల నుంచి గౌరవనీయుల బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీ కేసీఆర్ గారి ఆధ్వర్యంలో కొట్లాడుతూనే ఉన్నాం, అడుగుతూనే ఉన్నాం. ఇవన్నీ తెలుగు తెలిసినటువంటి మంత్రి, మా అందరికీ తెలిసినటువంటి సుపరిచితులైన రామ్మోహన్ నాయుడు గారు ప్రత్యేకంగా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసి చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే
మీరున్న ఈ టర్మ్లోనైనా తెలంగాణకు పూర్తిగా ఈ 5 విమానాశ్రయాలు ఇస్తే మేము చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంటాం. తెలంగాణ కూడా అభివృద్ధికి దోహదపడుతుందని చెప్పేసి విద్యార్థులు అమెరికాకు పోయడానికి హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి మాత్రం చాలా ఎక్కువ మంది పోతున్నారు. ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నుంచి కానీ హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి ఎక్కువ ప్రయాణికులు ఉన్నారు. కాబట్టి కొంచెం స్పెషల్గా నేను వారిని మరొకసారి రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసేది ఏంటంటే హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి అమెరికాకు సర్వీసులు ఫ్లైట్ సపరేట్గా వేయించాలని మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటూ వరంగల్ ఇచ్చినందుకు మిగతా వాటి కూడా ఇవ్వాలని చెప్పేసి మనస్ఫూర్తిగా మరొకసారి రామ్మోహన్ గారికి కృతజ్ఞతలు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. డాక్టర్ ఎం తంబిదురై. డాక్టర్ ఎం తంబిదురై not present. Sri Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu ji to reply the discussion.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, for giving me the opportunity. In fact, almost 16 members have spoken on this very important bill, the Protection of Interest in Aircraft Objects 2025. And this, the interest that has been shown by all the members, first of all, I'd like to thank them for giving all the suggestions and participating very intensely in the debates also. And there were discussions not only limiting us to the interests of the bill, but more than that. And I would like to say that this is the kind of passion that civil aviation is invoking in all the members of the parliament and also the citizens of this country today. And the kind of progress that we have seen in civil aviation in the last 10 years, definitely I'd like to put it on record that it was not an easy task. And it was not a job of one day that we have done this thing, and that is why we are seeing so much growth. But I can say this definitely, even though it is not a one-day's job, but it was the mission of one man who is the Prime Minister of this country, Narendra Modi ji. From 2014, since he has become the Prime Minister of this country, the kind of support, the kind of vision with which he has encouraged and moved civil aviation in the country, we are able to grow so much, and we have now proudly say that we are the third largest domestic civil aviation market in the whole world. And I would like to also put some numbers. And I keep saying this everywhere, on every platform, including the parliament, while answering the questions, and also when attending some important summits. One is in 2014, the total domestic passenger market that we had in the country, sir, is 60.7 million. 60.7 million domestic passenger market in 2014. And where we stand today in 2024, 161.3 million. More than double we are seeing passenger growth in this country. And if you add international passengers also, what was 43 million in 2014, we are now at 66.8 in 2024. Number of aircrafts in the country, around 359 used to operate in 2014. Now we have 840 aircrafts operating in the country, making 4,000 journeys across the country every single day. And you look at number of airports. Just now some members have also highlighted that number, which is 74. 74 airports in 2014 to a staggering number of 159 in 2025 and still counting. This is the kind of growth which no other country in the last 10 years would have witnessed. Many countries are similar to India in this financial stages. Some are having very similar conditions. But the kind of growth that India has seen is because of the vision and the mission of one man, that is our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, sir. And the year-on-year growth that civil aviation has seen, 9.7% CAGR. Many departments tried to achieve this growth, but this we can proudly say that civil aviation has achieved this kind of growth. And the mission behind the drive for our Prime Minister has also been one mantra, which is Hawai Chappal se Hawai Jahaj ka Safar. Many people have spoken about it. They might have different minds on why we are talking about it. But has that mantra ever been thought about before 2014? Why was it not spoken in such a way? Before 2014 also we had civil aviation in the country. We had planes moving in the country. We had aspirational citizens of the country who wanted to dream about flying in the airplane. But it was only after Narendra Modi ji has come into picture that he has envisioned that civil aviation shouldn't be an exclusive way of travel. It should be an inclusive way of travel. Every one of the country should aspire to travel by air. And that is where this mantra has propelled the government to bring in many changes, to bring in many good schemes, so that we can bring the common man of this country, the ambitions, the aspirations, his dreams, just like how a flight takes off. Narendra Modi ji wanted to give the 140 crore people of this country the wings to fly, the wings for their dreams to fly in this country. And we have done that through the Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, a revolutionary scheme. In the last 10 years, I would like to once again say that what we have done with civil aviation, this NDA government, what it has done in the last 10 years for civil aviation, it was not just renovation. There were many airports in the country we wanted to renovate, increase the capacity. But it is not just renovation, but what NDA government has done for civil aviation is it brought in a revolution in the country for civil aviation, and that is what we have proudly done. And the revolution is through the airports, through the airlines. And it was a very challenging period also. A couple of big airlines have exited the industry. Go Air, Jet Airways, they've gone bankrupt. And on the other side, you have seen COVID, which has hit majorly the civil aviation industry. At one point of time, all hundreds of planes moving in the country have just been grounded. And even with these kind of challenges, I have just given you the numbers on how exponentially civil aviation has grown in this country. So the support that our Honorable Prime Minister has given through his vision, I would once again use the floor of the House to thank him for continuously encouraging. And in fact, you would see that two ministers, we are both sitting here, Minister for Civil Aviation and Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Muralidhar Moholji, who comes from Pune. We are both very young today. And the reason our Prime Minister has given us the responsibility of driving civil aviation is because he feels that civil aviation requires young blood today. And whatever growth we have seen in the last 10 years, it's still the beginning. We need new ideas. We need new ways of dealing with this. We need harmonization with the international standards. And it is with that approach the government is trying to keep the momentum that we have achieved in civil aviation and continue to move it forward. And one other major challenge that we see is, which also many people talk about, is the airfares. And airfares is not just an issue where we have a one single point of approach by saying that if this is what we can do, we can bring the airfares down. Civil aviation is a global subject today. A plane flies from here. We do domestic travel, but we do international travel also. Flights travel from Delhi to New York. Flights travel from Mumbai to Australia. So it is a harmonization that is required across the international jurisdictions. And it was in 2001, when aircraft leasing business was also growing, that was when the international leasing industries, airlines, governments, everyone came together that we had to do something more so that we can harmonize the whole industry around civil aviation across all the countries. And this was an issue which was majorly faced by the leasing industries because the lessor was sitting in one country, the banking sector was sitting in, the banking who was trying to facilitate the lease was sitting in another country, the airlines who wants to operate the airline is sitting in another country. And they all had multiple jurisdictions in their own countries trying to deal with this leasing business. And that became a challenge internationally for the airlines, for the industry, for the banking sector. So it was in 2001, the Cape Town Convention happened. And one of the reasons for this was just how to facilitate the leasing industry and bring all the countries on board and create a uniform legislation which everyone can follow. And there were three protocols which were discussed. One is regarding the space industry, one the railway industry, and the other one was the aircraft objects industry. And in 2001, the convention happened, the protocols were discussed, deliberated, and the protocols were also formulated. But India was not initially a signatory of this. 2001, everything happened. By 2005, the pressure was building up on India that they also had to assent to this protocol and convention, because the leasing business was growing at that time. And I have to tell you, it is a very price-sensitive industry, civil aviation. Now, we all want more planes to come into the industry, more planes to fly in our skies, but every plane is very, very expensive. For you to purchase the plane yourself as a company, it puts a lot of financial stress on your own balance sheets. So, which was why there was a lot of encouragement towards the leasing industry. And around this time, 90s and 2000s, lot of the nationalization which was happening with the air carriers, they were all becoming privatized. I have many countries like France, British Airways, which the government was holding before, they all were privatized. And once privatization happened, the way they wanted to operate was through leasing models. And now in 2005, pressure started building up. India at that time was thinking how to get this Cape Town Convention into effect in India also. And it took the opinion of the Law Ministry at that time. And the Law Ministry was with the idea that we don't need to have a separate bill for this, a separate act in the country, but let us go with ratifying it through the cabinet itself. In 2007, cabinet happened, it was ratified. India signed the papers, it sent the declaration to the International Civil Aviation Authority. And by 2008, things were in place, but we didn't have a legislation yet. It was just we were a signatory to the Cape Town Convention and the Aircraft Protocol. And we had a small mechanism within ourselves that, okay, we are agreed to have this kind of systems in India. And things started happening. Leasing business grew. And in 2015, we have observed that there were some inconsistencies happening in the industry. 2015 SpiceJet, it had defaulted on a couple of lessors' payments at that time. So the lessors were very eager to get the money back. And they have this IDERA agreement, which actually gives them the right to take back the aircraft in case of any default of payments. But when they were trying to invoke the IDERA agreement, then the DGCA, which is the official authority to manage these kind of things, they were with the opinion that there was no legislation which was backing them to invoke the IDERA. So at that time, the easiest thing to do was to change the aircraft rules. So through the aircraft rules, DGCA was given the power to invoke the IDERA, and a temporary solution was formulated at that time. And in 2016, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code came into place, which was dealing with the insolvency and bankruptcy at a general blanket way of all the companies. And after that, in 2019, Jet Airways went bankrupt. But when Jet Airways went bankrupt and the NCLT wanted to put the moratorium, the lessors were a little bit aware of the picture, what might happen, and they invoked the IDERA and they took all the planes, deregistered them through the DGCA, and they took them back. So what could have been a very big problem at that time, because of the quick readiness of the lessors, we were able to avoid it. But still, the things were moving according to the rules and this just the general signatory that we have. And then Go Air also went bankrupt. When Go Air went bankrupt, the NCLT put a moratorium, and it said this time DGCA won't get the planes deregistered. So many of the planes which were supposed to be taken back by the lessors were sitting on the ground. They were not being able to maintain the aircrafts. So there was a general loss the industry had felt. Now, over all these examples that I've mentioned, what was observed by the industry, the airlines, the banks, everyone was that there was no proper legislation in the country. There were a lot of inconsistencies happening. There were a lot of interpretations from different people in a different way. So there was no common legislation which was dealing with the leasing industry. And what this whole thing has led to is that a drop of Cape Town Convention compliance index, which is being maintained by Aviation Working Group across the globe, where more than 400 stakeholders are part of it. and they maintain a score, and India's score went down to 50. Just to give an example on where we stand, Singapore has up to 92, US has around 90. So some of the countries who really regularly deal with this leasing industry, they try to maintain above 90. And we were suddenly dropped up to 50. Now what this created was a ripple effect that once the score goes down, the leasing costs go up because nobody finds it more attractive to come to India and lease their planes. Now if the leasing costs go up, if you want to lease more planes, it becomes more hard on you to lease these planes. And if you have more hardships in leasing these planes, you'll have less number of fleet operating, with the kind of demand we are setting on the other side in the country, more demand on these planes itself for having the passengers travel on them, and then the air prices also rise up. So everything is all interlinked with one and another step. So that is why the whole reason we are bringing this act is to give force of law to the Cape Town Convention and the protocol. So that is what, if you see the majority of the act also, other than giving it the force of law, it contains the Cape Town Convention, it contains the aircraft protocol, and the declaration which we are signing, abiding ourselves to both the convention and the protocol as a signatory to International Civil Aviation Organization. That is the major gist of this. And if you look at the airlines also, their comments on how they feel about how this leasing industry business is going on. Air India, upon the enactment of this legislation, we improve India's compliance score in the AWG's outlook, making Indian airlines eligible for CTC discount, which will significantly reduce leasing costs by approximately 8 to 10%. So once by getting this act into place, you're reducing the leasing cost by 8 to 10%. Now, these are the costs which are going to trickle down to the passenger and the airfares also. That is why this becomes very, very important for us. Indigo also. In absence of legislation, it might be possible that other lessors may reduce their exposure in India or increase their pricing further between another 5 to 10% over and above, and to the increase of 15%. They also have a very similar picture in mind. Akasa Air, in the absence of legislation, release rates may increase by an additional USD of 15,000 per month, and SLB gains drop by an additional USD 1.5 million per aircraft over the already higher rates. So they all are indicating that if you don't have the legislation, you're basically paying high rates and you're at a disadvantage from the other countries. And this is the time when civil aviation is growing in India. You need to have proper legislations in place so that we can bring in more planes into the country. So this was the idea from the industry also, because one of the members asked how the industry is reacting, how the airlines are reacting to this legislation. So they are very eagerly waiting that as soon as we pass this bill here and in the Lok Sabha and becomes an act, they will be getting the advantage, and through which they can trickle down the advantage to the passengers of this country. And more than that, sir, I've talked about the AWG score also, which is up to 50 now. There is a slight improvement up to 62. But we are aiming to reach up to 90 so that the leasing business also flourishes. And also with the support of our Honorable Prime Minister, Gift City, which was done in Gujarat, we also have a specific incentives that were given so that we can have the leasing industry in the country itself. Now, one, you can have the leasing industry outside, where Ireland takes a very good advantage. Ireland has a very good leasing industry hub in the whole world. Dubai has also taken a certain lead in that industry. Singapore also has taken a certain lead in this industry. And now our Honorable Prime Minister has come to the thought that why shouldn't we have our own leasing industry? We are leasing so many planes every year. I've talked about 840 planes operating in our Indian skies. 86.4% of those planes are in the leasing model today. The airlines are preferring to go into the leasing model. Now, when they lease, they go to other countries and lease. Now, when you go to other countries and lease, there is a forex trading also happening. So they are losing out on that. The costs add up in the forex also come down basically onto the passenger. So our Prime Minister has thought we should have the leasing industry here. And based on that, many incentives have been given in the Gift City, like exemption on income tax for the sale of equity shares of IFSC entities involved in aircraft leasing, subject to specific conditions, exemption of dividend income for units engaged in aircraft leasing at the IFSC, 100% tax holiday for first 10 years of operations. So many of these incentives have been clubbed together so that we can encourage the local industry to also cater for leasing business. And through this, we have done many significant strides also, sir. 33 aircraft leasing entities have been registered by January 31st, 2025, leasing 146 aviation assets, including 75 aircrafts and 71 engines. So we have made significant progress in this industry. But everywhere, when we talk about leasing in the Indian landscape, everyone was requesting that when are we going to have the legislation? Because no matter how far you travel down this road, always the roadblock that they seem to face, or the doubt, the confusion that they seem to arise, was because of not having the legal backing to this kind of legislation. So this is what we aim to bring through this act, sir. And many... Both. We are not differentiating between Indian and foreign leasing companies. But this is going to definitely give a boost for the Indian leasing companies also. Because the Indian leasing companies, just now Sanjay ji has also mentioned, for the Indian leasing companies, anyway, the whole backing comes from the banking industry. That's where the money comes from. And even for the banking industry, for them to see how to support this industry, because for them risk is also involved. And for them it is important to have a legislation in place. Because unless without the legislation, they just can't be on the, just how the industry forms. And one other example, sir, the SARFAESI Act 2002, Securitization and Asset Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interests. This SARFAESI Act does not apply to aircrafts. So again, there was a need for some act to give that backing so that the banking industry feels that they can be a little more profitable in entering into the aircraft business. So the CTC bill, which is this bill, it is intended to give protection to security interests by which financiers, which are like the banks, will be comfortable in financing aviation assets also. So there is a multiple benefits that we are getting just by giving a legal force of law to the whole Cape Town Convention. And through this, we also see that the whole leasing industry is also going to increase. And there are a lot of requirement from the airline side also, just like I have mentioned, how they all want to improve the leasing business in the country, sir. And many different things which are dependent on the leasing, just like how the sale and leaseback model, which is another part of the leasing industry, how the airlines also, they are trying to purchase the aircraft first, and then they sell it, and then lease back from the same guy. And this is a model which our Indigo has been successfully operating today. And out of 397 aircrafts that they have bought, 350 have been put under the SLB model, where they have sold these 350 back to someone and then leased from there. So this also industry and the leasing processes that are gaining momentum, they all are needing this kind of act in place. And definitely this is going to give a lot of push to the whole civil aviation in the country. And on top of this, sir, many other questions have also been raised during the discussion of this by many of the members. And one important one is, how does it deal with the inconsistencies with the insolvency and bankruptcy code, because that is the major relation this one has. Now, IBC code in general deals with the insolvency and bankruptcy of companies. They have the NCLT and they have a certain way of dealing with it. But now with aircrafts also coming into that ambit, it created a lot of confusion for the lessors who wanted to lease their this thing. Now, a simple way of explaining it, what was happening before, if not for the bill, now if you are trying to rent a house from an owner, and you are due to someone who you have to pay someone some kind of money. Now, if you are not paying the money, the person who you owe the money is going back to the owner of the house and asking him for the money. Now, this is a strange combination that has arisen because of the insolvency and bankruptcy code in respect to aircraft. So there was supposed to be some kind of clarity with the airline industry. And that is what we have brought in through the CTC bill. And this is going to create a lot of clarity on how the whole leasing industry should function. And also, especially when there is a problem of insolvency in the country regarding the airlines, then this bill can come into effect, and there is a period of 60 days, 2 calendar months, within which you can settle all the dues, and the lessors can take their planes back, which is rightfully their owned. So it was very important to create that kind of differentiation between the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code and the Cape Town Convention, sir, and that is what we have done here. And how are the domestic laws protected under this bill? Sir, this bill gives force of law to international obligations of India arising from the accession of convention and protocol, like I've already said. And it has also been provided that the bill, in addition to the provisions of the bill, provide adequate protection to the existing domestic laws by overriding only such provisions which are inconsistent with the already acceded treaties. So it is not going into any domain which is not related to aircraft objects. Only when the aircraft objects come into place, only then this bill will come into effect. Now, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code deals with many bigger things. So we are not entering into all the things that Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code deals with. We are only saying whenever there is an aircraft object coming into place, only then this bill is going to prevail, and this bill is going to look after the things on how to deal with the aircraft objects. And sir, how just now Jairamji has also asked about international and domestic lessors, that we have answered that there's no differentiation. Lessors is a lessor. And from our side, we want the domestic lessors also to come more and more. And this bill is going to give that kind of strong protection for the domestic lessors also, so that they can come into the industry. And how does it protect the smaller airlines? Now, just like I said, if the leasing industry improves, even for the smaller people running smaller aircraft, smaller airline operators, they also will find it more and more incentivized for them to lease planes. Without this, just with the compliance report very low, the CTC index very low, it becomes very hard for the smaller people also to lease any plane. Now with this, the smaller airlines can lease much higher number of planes, and then with the more number of planes, automatically gives a boost to both the airline operators and also the civil aviation market. Now what is the role of DGCA in all of this? And through the bill only we have mentioned, sir, DGCA becomes the domestic registry. There is an international registry at the ICAO, and also domestic registry is going to be maintained by the central government, especially the division of DGCA. And now through the bill, we have also created a provision that all the airline operators regularly have to intimate the DGCA on how many dues are still pending with what kind of lessors, on plane basis. Not just overall from the airline point of view, but plane by plane, whatever anyone is leasing from any lessor, they have to periodically intimate the DGCA. They have to keep a list of all the dues they have with all the lessors. That registry is going to be maintained. And even for the lessors, they have to also continuously intimate about the activity that they are doing in the country also, sir. So this will create a lot of security for both the lessors and the lessees, and the overall aviation market also, because there has been a lot of confusion in this area. It has been a grey area for some time. And now with the bringing of this bill, definitely it is going to create a lot more clarity. And we hope this is going to give a lot of push for the leasing industry, which is the need of the hour. There is an immediate need for this bill to be there in the industry, sir. And it is with this speed that we wanted to bring it. And I'm very happy that many of the members who have spoken of this bill understand the seriousness of this, and they have supported it. And there have been many members who have taken the opportunity of this bill to talk about some local issues, some of their airport issues, some of the connectivity issues also. And it is very difficult to answer each and every person individually, but I'd like to mention some states. One was Bihar, which they have mentioned about not having an international airport other than Gaya International Airport. I'll come to some of the states. Bihar has a very peculiar situation, sir. Bihar has Patna. In the capital city, there are 2 airports at present. One is the Patna airport and also Beta airport, which we are trying to develop, which is a civil enclave. It's an Air Force airport, and we have taken some land and we want to develop. But even though they both will be operating, we can't do international planes because of the fixed runway length that is there. We can't do wide-body aircrafts there, which is why, in the interest of the Bihar,
please let it.
In the interest of Bihar and the citizens there, we want to create an international airport. And I would like to thank the Honorable Finance Minister for specifically mentioning it in the budget that we will be creating an international airport near Patna in Bihar. And from our side, civil aviation side, we are looking at all the possible locations, and we'll choose one of the best location, which is near Patna, and from where international planes can fly from the city of Patna, and that is the intention with which we are looking at.
Please,
Darbhanga, I'll come to all the states. Just give me some
please.
time, I'll come to all the states. I know this is the most interesting aspect, sir. The bill is there, definitely, yes. But the aspirations is for the local demand and the local airports. And other than this, the Darbhanga airport we are developing with a cost of more than 1,400 crores we have put in. The work is going on. Purnia airport also we are developing right now, sir. There has been a cooperation from the state government in respect to land that is required. We are presently constructing it. And by August or September, we see that the terminal is going to finish. And definitely we are going to start operations from Purnia airport also. And we have already started building also. And then we have other airports, sir. Let me take the state of Telangana now. Telangana, we have taken a historical decision of granting permission, site clearance also for in principle approval for airport in Warangal, sir. Warangal used to be one of the biggest airports in the country pre-independence era. And after some time, there used to be Vaidut Airlines also, which was flying from there. But because of lot of different reasons, the airport stopped functioning in 1980s sometime. And since then, there has been a strong demand from the locals there to start the airport. And now, with the support of state government, with the proper vision of the central government, we were able to grant the site clearance, and very soon we are going to start the work in Warangal airport also, and we plan on building one of the best airports in the country in Warangal also, sir. And the Telangana government also has a demand for many other areas. And with the cooperation and support from the state government, we are going to see if we get the required piece of land in the required area, then definitely all the other areas also, sir, we'll definitely look into it. And also the state of Kerala. Kerala, I'm coming to you, sir. Kerala, one Kannur airport, right from Chief Minister to members here, both Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, they've been asking for point of call from that airport. Kerala is the only state where they have 3 airports which already have point of call. One is the Trivandrum, Kochi and Calicut. And properly flights are going international, and some domestic also are flying from Kannur airport also, sir. Point of call, definitely there are money requests from across the country also. We need to have a balanced approach for all the other states. So definitely we will look into it, but it has to be a balanced approach considering all states. The only thing that the government has here, and I'll be very honest and open with you, sir, 2 things is, one, we want to have our own Indian airports to function as hubs. Now you see in the Gulf, Singapore, Turkey and all these countries, they are trying to grow their own airports at the cost of our Indian airports, because they are trying to take the passenger traffic from here, take them to their own countries, and from there they are trying to connect to the whole world. What we want to see is India have its own hubs in the country itself so that they can also flourish. Now we are at a strategical location for the East and the West, where people from the West can use India as the hub. Now, unless we try to improve the hub situation in the country, you can't be able to facilitate for that. And if you start diverting our traffic to all other areas, then it becomes very difficult for our Indian airports to grow at that stage. And the second thing is, we want to protect the Indian carriers who are operating from India, sir. So we have an obligation that we want to improve the Indian carriers also. So it is with these two situations. It is with these two situations that we need to have a very balanced approach when we think about giving a point of call for a new destination. But I agree to the demand, because this is a demand which has been there across the country.
Mr. Rahim,
and we are going to see what best we can do. And we have done a lot for the state of Kerala also, sir, and we'll continuously keep doing so. Our support for Kerala is continuously going to be there from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. We want all the airports to grow. And one challenge, what the Hajj that has been done, which has been mentioned, sir, the Hajj, every year there is a tender by the Ministry of Minority Affairs from all the airports on how many people need to be carried to the Hajj. And now what happened here is the tender, the bidding which was happened is at that level. It's a very transparent and accountable way of dealing with this Hajj thing. And that is how the bidders came in. That is how the bidders came in, and it was through the process how they were selected. But one interesting thing, Calicut, the runway we are trying to extend. Once the runway is extended, then you can have the wide-body aircrafts also there today, and we'll get back to the situation before. Because of one incident which happened at the Calicut airport, we didn't want the tabletop airport to be there like that. We wanted to extend the runway, and the ministry is continuously reviewing the situation, and we want to get the work done as soon as possible, which is going to improve the airport situation in Calicut also. And other than that, Bhubaneswar, our people from Odisha have also requested for many other airports. Many other airports have also been mentioned. Sir, all the airports, whatever we are getting requests, sir, we are thoroughly assessing. The only thing is we see the feasibility, economic feasibility, and also the technical feasibility of the land, and then we start moving in, sir. And now I've told already that from 74 we have moved on to 159. And only because of the support that Ministry of Civil Aviation is able to give, we have been able to increase. We are not restricting people from not having airports, but definitely the support has to come from the state government also in starting to provide the land. And now today we are also seeing that the major cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, all these require second airports, sir. We have come to that stage where all the metropolitan cities are getting saturated and require new airports. Now Mumbai, the existing airport is there, Santa Cruz, and now we are building Navi Mumbai Airport. Now Delhi, including the RGI airport, we have Jewar International Airport, which is going to come up. Now Bangalore has already been discussing for new airport in Bangalore, and the state government is proactively moving and selecting some sites for that. And on top of that, sir, Bhubaneswar is also trying to have an additional airport in Puri. So they have selected some land and they are trying to move in Puri. Chennai also, Parandur airport is also coming up. Now Calcutta, West Bengal, I would like to make a request that Calcutta airport also needs another one right now, being a metropolitan city and a very important city in the country. So the state government should look at having an alternate airport, a second airport which caters for the city of Calcutta, because that is very much required today. Unless you start moving into that direction today, unless you start providing that land, it becomes very difficult in the future. So like just how other metropolitan cities are moving in that direction, I would request states and the governments there to thoroughly look at this. Yes. This is a requirement not just for today but the future also, and I would use this forum to request through the members to their respective states to definitely support the idea of creating more airports. And sir, we are with the idea that in the next 5 years we can build 50 more airports. And I would also like to thank the Honorable Finance Minister. Udan scheme, what has been there for 10 years from 2016 to 2026, because of the way it has revolutionized and democratized air travel in the country, we have extended the scheme for another 10 years. So from 2026 to 2036, we are going to see an expanded Udan scheme through which we want to build 120 new destinations in the country. And we want to make 4 crore people travel under the Udan scheme, which is going to be much more access, which is going to give much more access to the citizens of this country. So we have grand plans coming in the future also. And to achieve this, we require the support of the state governments also in providing the land, in trying to acquire the land. So if the states can be proactive in this area, then definitely from the central government and the Ministry of Civil Aviation, we will provide all the necessary support. We don't see any politics in this area. We just want the country to thrive. We just want the country to become the #1 in civil aviation, not just in terms of hub and connectivity, but also in giving accessible, comfortable and convenient travel to the passengers also. And one initiative we have started under the Udan scheme, sir, we have connected the unserved and underserved airports of this country, where there were no flights traveling at all. There was a challenge on how to connect these airports, and it was through that vision the Udan scheme came into place. And after Udan scheme came into place, we have started more than 642 routes in this country where no planes were operating. No planes were trying to take up those routes. But through the viability gap funding under Udan scheme and developing of those airports and creating that infrastructure so that people and planes can move from that area, we have been able to start 600 more routes in that selected this thing. And now we have taken certain inspiration from Udan scheme also. Now, you may agree or not agree, some people in this house, but after the involvement of the UDAN scheme, lot of the lower middle class and a lot of the people who are migrant laborers working in different countries, they have all started to use air travel. What used to be a travel by train, they are starting to use. And now there has been a lot of debate on the prices in the airports also, on how. And taking inspiration from the UDAN scheme, we have started UDAN Yatri Cafe in the airports also, where water bottle we are providing for 10 rupees, tea, coffee for 20 rupees, samosa for 20 rupees. This is the first kind of initiative, and I don't think even the railways will have these kind of prices what airports are trying to give today. We have started in Kolkata, which is doing record number of sales. We have started in Chennai. We have started in Ahmedabad. We are starting in 8 more airports, and we want to do it in each and every airport of this country. Each and every airport of this country, we want to have a stall where at least if someone wants to buy something, he doesn't feel that I can't have anything here. We want to create at least, even though airports are supposed to be facilitating for the travel, we are ensuring that at least in this sense, we have to make sure that he doesn't go hungry at the airport, and we are creating these UDAN Yatri cafes, which has been successfully done in the initiative, and in the future we are going to make it possible in all these things. And when it comes to airfare, I know it is a very contentious topic of discussion for all the members. I already told you that when it comes to airfares, it is a work in progress and a lot of things need to come into place. If you try to break up the airfare itself, there will be hundreds of things which try to affect the airfares, right from the fuel prices, right from the kind of leasing charges that are taken, and the MRO costs that are involved, and the kind of people that get involved in maintaining the aircraft. So many things are there. So capping the airfares and trying to have a one-stop approach is not followed by any country. We are trying to follow what the market dynamic fare pricing, and definitely inside that, if there is anything which malpractices are there, or misusing or misutilization or taking advantage of the market is there, definitely the Ministry of Civil Aviation is going to take necessary actions. We are going to ensure those kind of situations doesn't arise. But to create a balance between the industry and between having the planes run, having the airlines also run in the country and providing those connections, it is important for us to have a balanced approach in all of this, sir. And you have seen that all the airlines, if you look at their financials, all of them, except for Indigo, all of them are in negative right now, their balance sheets. So it is important to see that the airlines also perform. If you take out one airline, let us say if you make it non-viable for one airline, if they go bankrupt, and if 200 of their planes don't perform in the country, and how many cities get disconnected now? How many of the routes don't get facilitated now? So it is important for us to think on a long term and try to see how collectively we can grow so that the airfares are also reasonable, the air travel continuously grows, and also the industry creates a lot of job creation for the youth who are very passionate about civil aviation in the country. And I would once again, on behalf of myself and the MOS, Muralidhar Mohalji, would like to request the House in their full-fledged support in this, sir. And I would also like to, because ex-Prime Minister Devegowda
Please,
sir,
Mr. Wilson,
for Hassan Airport,
this is not proper.
For Hassan Airport, we are continuously trying to push it from our side, sir. State government needs to also step up in that area, and we are trying to do our best so that we can complete it on time. So I just wanted to give these remarks to the Honorable Ex-Prime Minister. With this, I would like to ask for each and everyone's support in this bill, sir. This is a very important bill which the industry needs today, and everyone, each and everyone from the industry is going to appreciate the way this is going to change the aviation landscape in the country. So once again, I would like to sincerely request for the support. With these words, I would like to...
Thank you. माननीय प्लीज, माननीय मंत्री जी का जवाब बिल पे खत्म हुआ, आगे बढ़े इसके पहले माननीय एलओपी का कोई सजेशन है या क्वेरी है? प्लीज माननीय एलओपी।
सर, इससे संबंधित तो नहीं है इस बिल से, लेकिन मिनिस्टर सविस्तार से उत्तर दिए जिसमें हासन का जिक्र किया गया और दूसरे जगह का चेन्नई सब जगह का जिक्र किया गया। उनको मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं, लेकिन जिस जगह एयरपोर्ट बनाया गया है उस जगह फ्लाइट्स नहीं है। अब आपको मैं ये उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं, शायद इतने लोगों में या जितने भी एमपीज हो और जितने भी राज्यसभा के मेंबर्स हो, शायद अपने मत क्षेत्र में कोशिश करके सरकारी लैंड नहीं, सब मिलके 1-1 लाख रुपए डालकर 1000 एकड़ जमीन सरकार उनको हैंडओवर करी, 1000। फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने रनवे नहीं बना सके, तो हमने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से फंड लेकर रनवे बना दिया। फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने इवन बिल्डिंग बनाने के लिए तैयार नहीं थे, बिल्डिंग बनाने के लिए हमने मदद की, बिल्डिंग भी बन गई। फिर लाइटिंग का इंतजाम नहीं था, लाइटिंग का इंतजाम भी करवा दिए। फिर मनरेगा में हमने कंपाउंड डाल के भी दिया, क्योंकि लोगों को काम भी होता है और वहाँ के एयरपोर्ट को एक सुरक्षा भी मिलती है। ये सब हमने करके दिए। देने के बावजूद एक आदमी को उन्होंने एक कोई स्टेयर एयरलाइन क्या कुछ तो एक है, 3 दिन को एक बार आता है, फिर बाद में गायब हो जाता है। और वो है कि क्या बोलते गुटखा ओनर। अगर ऐसे लोगों को देखकर हमारे पास पहले, खैर हम लोग जब रिक्वेस्ट किए, प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी लेटर लिखा, मैं नायडू साहब को भी लेटर लिखा, ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया को भी लेटर लिखा। मैं 4 साल से कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि ये क्या मेरे से दुश्मनी है, मुझे मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन ये सब
बताएं माननीय मंत्री।
नहीं, सुनिए आप, इंटरेस्टिंग, लॉन्गेस्ट एयरपोर्ट इन कर्नाटका आफ्टर बेंगलोर, आप देखिए, लॉन्गेस्ट। इसीलिए खुद प्रधानमंत्री जी 2 बार कलबुर्गी उतरे, गुलबर्गा, इसीलिए कि वो बिगेस्ट लेंथीएस्ट रनवे है। वहां से वो सोलापुर गए, वहां से वो लातूर गए, वहां से वो बीदर गए। ऐसा फैसिलिटी देते हुए सब अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन, इतना रहते हुए भी मुझे शर्म आती है। जो लोग लैंड दिए, जो लोग मदद करे,
धन्यवाद।
मुझे नहीं, एक मिनट, ऐसा नहीं, मैं गलत तो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ।
आपने बताया,
और दिस इज ए पब्लिक कंट्रीब्यूशन।
जी जी।
और वहाँ एरिया के लोगों का सब कंट्रीब्यूशन बोर्ड में बैठ के भी तय किए, लेकिन मैं उनको हमेशा लिख रहा हूँ, इनको ही नहीं, इनसे पहले लोगों को भी लिखा। बेंगलुरु से कलबुर्गी एक डेली पहले यही गुटखा वाले का था, वो वहां से यूपी से निकलता था, वो बंद हो गया। और इधर उधर हमने कहा कि अब मेन
हो गया। अरे जी विस्तार से आपने बता दिया।
नहीं, सुनो
जी।
देखो साहब, मैं आपको कोई झूठ बोल रहा हूँ,
विस्तार से बता दिया आपने।
नहीं, उनको बताऊंगा। हाँ, हमने क्या किया इस सब्जेक्ट पे। आपने तो बनाने के लिए बोल रहे, आप एक्स प्राइम मिनिस्टर को तो खुश कर दिया आप
जी
कि वहां पर हासन में आ जाएगा। उन्होंने प्राइम मिनिस्टर रह के नहीं कर लिए, चीफ मिनिस्टर रह के कर लिए नहीं, अब उनके पीछे गिर रहे आप, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा। और मैं यहाँ पुकार रहा हूँ।
धन्यवाद माननीय, धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री जी, धन्यवाद। अब आपने बता लिया विस्तार से जी। आगे
आपका रूल है, बताया जब कभी भी अपोजिशन लीडर उठ के बात करता है तो उसको देना चाहिए। क्या मैं गलत बात कर रहा हूँ?
आपने बता दिया,
देखिए साहब, वहाँ क्या क्या इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, किस लिए हमने डिमांड किया। वहाँ सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी है, वहाँ पर ईएसआई के मेडिकल कॉलेज और पैरामेडिकल कॉलेज, नर्सिंग कॉलेज और डेंटल कॉलेज, इतने कॉलेजेस है।
धन्यवाद।
गवर्नमेंट के 3 कॉलेज है।
धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री जी।
नहीं, मैं देखिए, आप अगर बोलने नहीं देते तो मैं, अरे उसी छोटे जगह में हमने हाई कोर्ट बनाया और हाई कोर्ट के 4 जजेस बेंगलुरु से आते जाते, और इसके अलावा भी
प्लीज
अरे रिप्लाई तो हो गया ना,
बता लिया। माननीय एलओपी बता
नहीं ठीक, देखिए अगर देखिए
आपने बता लिया
उपाध्यक्ष जी, अगर आप नहीं चाहते सुनना,
आपने पूरा बता लिया, अब नई बहस सुनिए
मुझे,
प्लीज।
अरे बता तो दिया जी, लेकिन हो रहा क्या?
प्लीज ठीक, माननीय मंत्री जी, माननीय मंत्री।
सर, सीनियर मेंबर खड़गे जी ने जिक्र किया ये कलबुर्गी एयरपोर्ट का, पर जिस तरीके से पैशनेटली उन्होंने उसके बारे में बोला, मैं कहना चाहता हूं सर, देश में जो 150 एयरपोर्ट्स बने, सभी में सभी का योगदान था सर। हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने उतने पैशनेट के साथ ही वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने दिया। ऐसे नहीं है कि यहाँ पे कुछ अलग ज्यादा कुछ हुआ है सर। हर जगह पे everywhere people have donated their land, state governments have come into picture, they have taken that airport building very, very seriously, and with everyone's cooperation only we have built, and it is not just one government or one person doing anything everywhere. So definitely we have received the request, sir, and we are trying to do our best. We speak to the airlines and not just connectivity from here. Every now and then, every member in the house, outside the house, when they meet me, their whole aspirations is to get their place connected. Now, this is the way India is operating today, that we have these airports located at all these locations. Now, there are no planes, not that much as much we can cater for the demand today. So, definitely, to cater for the demand, we need more number of planes. And we are continuously discussing with the airlines to give better connectivity where the demand is there. And definitely, Kalburgi also, sir, I'll put into the word. And we are trying to facilitate the connection. And we were talking about ex-Prime Minister, उनका भी mention इसलिए किया सर, वो state government का, आप थोड़ा सहायता दीजिए सर, state government से बात करके हसन complete करने में। अभी आप गुलबर्गा की बात कर रहे थे, उसमें सहायता दे दीजिए सर।
Please, thank you. The question
इसका भी थोड़ा कर दीजिए।
Please, the discussion is over. The question is that the protection of interest in aircraft objects bill 2025 be taken into consideration. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We shall now take up clause by clause consideration of the bill. Clauses 2 to 5 stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clauses 2 to 5 are adopted. Clause 6 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment. Number 2 by Dr. John Britas. Are you moving the amendment? Not present. I shall now put the clause 6 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 6 is adopted. Insertion of new clause 6A. There is one amendment for insertion of new clause 6A. Number 5, Dr. B. Sivadasan. Are you moving?
Yes, sir. I like to move.
So amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those in favor will please say aye. Manoj Haji, please, let me read it. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendment is negative. Clauses 7 to 9 stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clauses 7 to 9 are adopted. Clause 10 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment. Number 3 by Dr. John Britas. Not present. I shall now put the clause 10 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 10 is adopted. Clauses 11 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments. Number 1 by Sri A. Rahim. Are you moving it?
Sir, I am moving the amendment.
Okay. Number 4 by Dr. John Britas. Not present. So amendment moved. I shall first put the amendment moved by Sri A. Rahim to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendment is negative. John Britas absent. I shall now put the clause 11 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 1 is adopted. Clause 12, the first schedule, the second schedule and the third schedule stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 12, the first schedule, the second schedule and the third schedule are adopted. Clause 1, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 1, the enacting formula and the title are adopted. Sri Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu to move that the bill be passed.
Sir, I move that the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. Now the Tribhuvan Sehkari University Bill 2025. Sri Murlidhar Mohol to move a motion for consideration of the Tribhuvan Sehkari University Bill 2025. अनेक कैबिनेट मंत्री
माननीय उपसभापति महोदय,
कैबिनेट के बराबर
प्लीज
माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, श्री अमित शाह जी की ओर से प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ रूरल मैनेजमेंट आनंद त्रिभुवन सहकारी यूनिवर्सिटी के रूप में न्याय विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना करने और उसे राष्ट्रीय महत्व की संस्थान घोषित करने तथा उसके आनुषंगिक विषयों वाले विधेयक पर लोकसभा द्वारा पारित रूप में विचार किया जाए।
आप इस बिल पे कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे? बाद
रिप्लाई।
Motion moved. I shall now call upon the members whose names have been received for participation in the discussion. माननीय श्री दिग्विजय सिंह।
धन्यवाद माननीय उपसभापति महोदय। हम चाहते थे कि माननीय गृह मंत्री जी यहां उपस्थित रहे, क्योंकि उन्हीं के राज्य का ये मसला है और उन्हीं के विवेक और उन्हीं के सुझाव पर शायद ये मंत्रालय कृषि विभाग से लेकर गृह विभाग को सौंपा गया है। हम माननीय मंत्री जी और सरकार के आभारी हैं। आपने इस सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय का जो बिल है,
प्लीज शांति बनाए रखें प्लीज।
उसका नामकरण एक ऐसे वरिष्ठ तत्कालीन सहकारिता के कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता आदरणीय श्री त्रिभुवन दास जी पटेल के नाम से रखा है, जिन्होंने कि सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल की प्रेरणा से और वी कुरियन साहब के सहयोग से इस देश में श्वेत क्रांति की अगुवाई की
2014 के पहले,
और ये सब माननीय उपसभापति महोदय 2014 के पहले का मैं जिक्र कर रहा हूं। उसके बाद क्या हुआ है उसकी जानकारी शायद मंत्री जी देंगे। माननीय लोकतंत्र में सरकार की नीयत उसकी नीति, नियम और कानून जो बनाते हैं उस पर झलकती है। इस पूरे 11-12 साल के इनके कार्यकाल में 3 बिंदु साफ झलकते हैं। एक, हर नीति में, नियम में, कानून में इनकी नीयत झलकती है पूंजीवादी व्यवस्था के पक्ष में। दूसरा, इनकी नीयत झलकती है सत्ता के केंद्रीकरण में, राज्यों के अधिकारों को हथियाने में। और तीसरी, माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, आप जानते हैं हर बात में सांप्रदायिक कटुता फैलाकर वे अपनी नीयत प्रदर्शित करते हैं। माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, गुजरात के ग्राम कैरा में वहां के दूध उत्पादकों ने आंदोलन किया। उस समय पोल्सन बटर के लिए दूध वहां से ले जाया जाता था और किसानों ने आंदोलित किया कि आप कम भाव में दूध लेते हैं और महंगा मुंबई मिल्क स्कीम को बेचते हैं। वे सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के पास आए। सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल जी ने उनसे कहा कि तुम सहकारी समिति का गठन करो, और मोरारजी भाई देसाई को कहा कि आप इनका सहयोग करो। और वर्ष 1946 में अमूल सहकारी समिति प्रारंभ हुई। माननीय, ये एक ऐसा उदाहरण है जहां प्रोड्यूसर और कंज्यूमर के बीच की जो खाई है वो पाटता है। सामान्य तौर पर आज के व्यवस्था में किसान को उनकी उपज का केवल 30-40% ही मिल पाता है बिचौलिए और प्रोसेसिंग के बाद। लेकिन अमूल एक ऐसी संस्था है जिसका 80% जो भाव उपभोक्ताओं से आता है वो किसानों के पास जाता है। यही शक्ति है सहकारिता की, और इसमें यही कारण है जिसकी वजह से हमारे भारतीय संविधान की आर्टिकल 2043 में संविधान में सहकारिता पर पूरा एक आर्टिकल रखा गया। सरदार पटेल ने कहा था, आई नो ऑफ नो अदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट सो पोटेंशियली पावरफुल एंड फुल ऑफ सोशल पर्पस एज द कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं सभापति महोदय कि सरदार पटेल ने कहा था कि सहकारिता केवल आर्थिक गतिविधि नहीं है, वह एक अलग प्रकार की जीवन शैली है, एकता की, न्याय की और समरसता की। और इसी सहकारिता को उन्होंने कहा था कि ये भारत को शक्तिशाली बनाएगा और अखंड रहेगा, और आर्थिक और सामाजिक विकास के माध्यम से इसे आगे बढ़ाएगा। इसीलिए संविधान में इसे राज्यों की सूची में रखा गया। देखने में आ रहा है माननीय सभापति जी कि लगातार राज्यों के अधिकारी, हमारा राज्यों का हाउस है, और इस राज्यों के हाउस में लगातार राज्यों के अधिकार को धीरे धीरे कम किए जा रहे हैं। मैं तो कहता हूं, मंत्री जी यहां है नहीं, अगर अमित शाह जी आपको सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के रूप में एक दूसरा सरदार गुजरात का बनना है तो आप कम से कम उनके विचारों को अंगीकार करिए। सहकारिता के माध्यम से, जनता के, किसानों के माध्यम से, उपभोक्ताओं के माध्यम से, और
आदमी को किससे कंपेयर करते?
जी मैं वही कह रहा हूं कि साहब आपको करना है तो उसका पालन करिए, उनके विचारों का। लेकिन इन्होंने राज्यों का अधिकार छीना है। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं सभापति जी कि आज केंद्र सरकार ने सहकारी मंत्रालय बनाया। पूर्व में यह मंत्रालय कृषि विभाग के साथ था, हमेशा एग्रीकल्चर कोऑपरेटिव मिनिस्ट्री हुआ करती थी। लेकिन किस उद्देश्य के साथ और किस मंशा के साथ माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सहकारिता को अलग किया और सहकारिता को कृषि से अलग करके गृह मंत्रालय के साथ जोड़ा, ये क्या राज छिपा है मैं कह नहीं सकता। आज इस मामले में मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि इसमें क्या राज छुपा है तो जोशी जी आप पता नहीं लगा पाओगे, ये गुजरात का मामला है। मैं अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आज इस कान आप देख रहे हैं, आई एम नॉट यील्डिंग, इस बिल के माध्यम से कोऑपरेटिव का कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन हो रहा है, यानी कि कोऑपरेटिव जो मिनिस्ट्री है और कोऑपरेटिव सहकारिता जो है वो सहकारिता किसान और मजदूरों के हाथ से निकालकर उसे उद्योगपतियों के हाथ में सौंपने का षड्यंत्र है। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं, भारत और विश्व स्तर पर सहकारिता आंदोलन हमेशा से समाजवादी विचारधारा उसमें निहित रही है। यह श्रमिक केंद्रित आंदोलन रहा है और श्रमिकों के नेतृत्व में चलता है। इसमें कैपिटलिज्म, कॉरपोरेट्स और सहकारिता में यही अंतर है। कैपिटलिज्म में कॉरपोरेट्स जो है पूंजी से मजदूर लेते हैं और यही सहकारिता मजदूरों से पूंजी इकट्ठी की जाकर मजदूरों को उसका हक दिया जाता है। यही फर्क है कॉरपोरेट्स और कोऑपरेटिव के बीच में। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं, हमारे संविधान में कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज में हर 5वें साल चुनाव होना चाहिए। 6 महीने से उससे एक्सटेंशन के बाद किसी हालत में उन्हें चुनाव कराना आवश्यक है। लेकिन आप देख रहे हैं, मुझे मालूम है अनेक प्रदेशों में जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की डबल इंजन सरकारें हैं, सहकारी समितियों के चुनाव नहीं कराए जाते और प्रशासक नियुक्त किया जाता है। प्रशासक के माध्यम से वे सहकारी समितियों में जैसा चाहते हैं वैसा मनमाना वे निर्णय कराते हैं। मैं और की बात तो नहीं जानता ज्यादा, लेकिन मध्य प्रदेश के बारे में कहना चाहता हूं। मध्य प्रदेश में 4536 पैक्स हैं, प्राथमिक सहकारी समितियां हैं। उनमें से 3800 यानी कि 80% जो प्राइमरी एग्रीकल्चर सोसाइटीज हैं वे पूरी तरह से आज ओवरड्यू हो चुकी हैं, भारी घाटे में हैं और वहां के चुनाव भी नहीं हो रहे। इसी प्रकार 38 जिला सहकारी बैंक में से लगभग 13 जिला सहकारी बैंक की हालत यह है कि वे 2000 रुपए भी अपने सदस्यों को नहीं दे सकते। इसी प्रकार घोटालों का अंबार है। शिवपुरी जिला सहकारी बैंक में 100 करोड़ का गबन हुआ, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। इसी प्रकार ग्वालियर में 25 करोड़ गबन हुआ, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। यही नहीं है माननीय सभापति महोदय, अनेक सहकारी संस्थाओं में 20 साल से सहकारी समिति के चुनाव नहीं हुए और प्रशासक को बैठा रखा है। ये माननीय मंत्री जी, इस बारे में आप कम से कम जोशी जी, गृह मंत्री जी को इतना बता दीजिए, अरे सहकारिता मंत्री जी को बता दीजिए कि कृपया आप सहकारिता के मंत्री हैं तो कम से कम राज्यों में क्या सहकारिता की हालत है पता लगा लीजिए। अब 5 साल में चुनाव होना चाहिए, संविधान में प्रावधान है, लेकिन मध्य प्रदेश की डबल इंजन सरकार ने उसमें भी कानून परिवर्तन करके कह दिया कि नहीं, चुनाव ना हो तो ना हो, अनंत काल तक चुनाव स्थगित करने का अधिकार दे दिया और अनंत काल तक प्रशासक को बैठने का अधिकार दे दिया। यह है सहकारिता के हालात इस देश में। माननीय सहकारिता मंत्री अमित शाह जी जो सरदार पटेल का एक दूसरा रूप बनना चाहते हैं। माननीय सभापति महोदय, इसी तरह से मैं कहना चाहता हूं, कोऑपरेटिव एपेक्स बैंक मध्य प्रदेश का वहां के प्रबंध संचालक पर गबन की शिकायत हुई 12 बार।
ખર્ચના સાથે કોમ્પ્યુટરાઇઝેશન પ્રોજેક્ટને મંજૂરી પણ સરકારે આપી છે અને તેને બહુહેતુક બનાવવા ડેરી અને માછીમારી સહકારી સંસ્થાઓ સ્થાપનાની યોજનાને પણ મંજૂરી આપી દીધી છે. આગામી 5 વર્ષમાં દેશની વિવિધ સંસ્થાઓ અને ભારત સરકારની વિવિધ યોજનાના સંકલ્પ દ્વારા સહકારી ક્ષેત્રને વિશ્વની સૌથી મોટી વિકેન્દ્રિત અનાજ સંગ્રહ યોજનાને પણ મંજૂરી આપી છે, જેનાથી અનાજનો બગાડ અને પરિવહનનો ખર્ચ પણ ઘટશે. ખેડૂતો પોતાના ઉત્પાદનનો વધુ સારો લાભ પણ મેળવી શકશે. ગ્રામીણ સ્તરે જેનરિક દવાઓની અને ખેડૂતોને ખાતર સંબંધિત સેવાઓ સરળ રીતે ઉપલબ્ધ થાય તે માટે પ્રાઇમરી એગ્રીકલ્ચર સોસાયટી અને પ્રધાનમંત્રી જન ઔષધિ કેન્દ્રો તેમજ કિસાન સમૃદ્ધિ કેન્દ્રો ચલાવવા માટે સક્ષમ બનાવવામાં આવ્યા છે, જેના કારણે આજે 36,193 પ્રાઇમરી એગ્રીકલ્ચર ક્રેડિટ સોસાયટી કાર્યરત થઈ છે. આ ઉપરાંત સહકાર મંત્રાલયે શ્વેત ક્રાંતિ 2.0 અંતર્ગત આગામી 5 વર્ષમાં ડેરી સહકારી મંડળીઓને દૂધ ઉત્પાદનમાં 50% વધારો કરવાનો લક્ષ્યાંક પણ રાખેલો છે. દેશની ખાંડ સહકારી મિલોને મજબૂત કરવા માટે 10,000 કરોડની લોન યોજના શરૂ કરેલી છે અને તેમના જૂના પડતર દાવાઓનું નિરાકરણ પણ કર્યું છે, જેનાથી આવી મિલોને 46,000 કરોડથી વધુ રાહત મળી શકે છે. દેશના આદરણીય વડાપ્રધાન જ્યારે વિકસિત ભારત 2047ના સંકલ્પને લઈને ચાલે છે અને માનનીય ગૃહ અને સહકાર મંત્રી શ્રી સહકાર સે સમૃદ્ધિના અભિગમ સાથે આગળ વધી રહ્યા છે, ત્યારે ભારતની સહકારી ક્ષેત્રે પ્રથમ વિશ્વવિદ્યાલયની સ્થાપના એક્ટ દ્વારા થઈ રહી છે. સરકારે અત્યાર સુધીમાં સુગર મિલોને કૃષિ મિત્ર માટે પણ કામ કર્યું છે. એનસીડીસી દ્વારા સહકારી ક્ષેત્રના વિકાસ માટે પણ કાર્ય કરવામાં આવ્યું છે. અત્યાર સુધીમાં સહકારમાં તાલીમ, શિક્ષણ, રિસર્ચ, ગ્રામીણ વિકાસ સંસ્થાઓની કાર્યક્ષમતા સુધારવા માટે કોઈ ચોક્કસ નીતિકીય પ્રક્રિયા નથી. તેને આ એક અમ્બ્રેલા નીચે લાવવાથી સહકારી પ્રવૃત્તિઓનો વ્યાપ વધશે અને વૈશ્વિક હરીફાઈમાં ટકી રહેવાશે. દેશમાં સહકારી આંદોલનના એક સર્વગ્રાહી શૈક્ષણિક સ્વરૂપ આપવા હેતુથી ત્રિભુવન સહકારી વિશ્વવિદ્યાલયની સ્થાપનાનો પ્રસ્તાવ રજૂ કરવામાં આવ્યો છે. આ વિશ્વવિદ્યાલયની સ્થાપનાથી સહકારી સંગઠનોને સુદૃઢ વહીવટ, સર્વાંગી વિકાસ માટે નવી શિક્ષિત પેઢી અને પ્રોફેશનલ તૈયાર થશે. વૈશ્વિક માપદંડો પ્રમાણે પરિવર્તનો આવશે, સંસ્થાઓની કાર્યક્ષમતા વધશે અને સહકારી આંદોલનને વૈશ્વિક હરીફાઈને અનુરૂપ બનાવી દેશની સંસ્થાઓને વિકસિત પણ કરવામાં આવશે. રાષ્ટ્રીય સહકારિતાના વિકાસ નિગમ દ્વારા યુવા સહકાર કોઓપરેટિવ એન્ટરપ્રાઇઝ સ્પોર્ટ્સ એન્ડ ઇનોવેશન યોજના દેશભરમાં ચલાવવામાં આવે છે. તેનો મુખ્ય ઉદ્દેશ નવી રચાયેલી સહકારી મંડળીઓને પ્રોત્સાહિત કરવાનું અને જે મંડળીઓ 3 મહિનાથી કાર્યરત છે તેને આર્થિક મદદ કરવાનું કામ પણ સરકાર કરી રહી છે. આ યોજના હેઠળ ઉત્તર પૂર્વીય રાજ્યની મંડળીઓમાં નીતિ આયોગ દ્વારા પસંદ કરાયેલી મંડળીઓ તેમજ જેમાં 100% સભ્યો એસસી, એસટી, દિવ્યાંગ અને મહિલા સભ્યો હોય તેવી મંડળીઓને 80-20ના ધોરણે સહાય આપવામાં સરકારે નિર્ણય કરેલો છે. રાષ્ટ્રીય સહકારી વિકાસ નિગમ દ્વારા કિસાન શારીરિકતાને મજબૂત કરવા અને પાકનું ઉત્પાદન વધારવા સાથે અન્ય યોજનાઓ પણ અમલમાં મૂકવામાં આવી છે. હોસ્પિટલો, આરોગ્ય સંભાળ, મેડિકલ, નર્સિંગ અને પેરામેડિકલ શિક્ષક અને આરોગ્ય વીમા આવરી લેતી આયુષ્યમાન સહકાર યોજના પણ અમલમાં છે. આવી અનેક યોજનાઓ આ સહકાર વિભાગ દ્વારા કરવામાં આવી છે અને આ બિલ દ્વારા આવનારા દિવસોમાં સમગ્ર દેશની સહકારી પ્રવૃત્તિને વધુ વેગ મળે એ દિશામાં બિલ આવ્યું છે. હું એને મારું સમર્થન આપું છું.
જી ધન્યવાદ. माननीय सदस्य सुश्री डोला सेन, आपका समय है 5 मिनट.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, Madam, for giving me chance to speak. Thanks to our party, All India Trinamool Congress, and our leader, Honorable Mamata Banerjee, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill 2025. Sir, the All India Trinamool Congress demands that this bill should be sent to committee. Don't rush this like you rush other bills. Amra chai ei bill ke committee te pathano hok. Sir, this bill talks of cooperatives. However, the government's true intention on cooperatives is very different. In 23-24, the union government utilized only 3 out of 5 rupees it allocated for cooperatives in the budget. 5 টাকার মধ্যে মাত্র 3 টাকা, madam. The biggest fund slashes by the ministry was on computerization of primary agricultural credit societies and grants to states. I want to ask in this house, why is this government so anti-farmer? Why are you so anti-federal? After all, cooperatives are a state subject. Only multi-state cooperatives are under this union government. Then why are you cutting the grants to states? And then you talk about cooperative federalism. কেন এত কৃষক বিরোধিতা, কেন এত ফেডারালিজম বিরোধিতা, কেন এত বিরোধী রাজ্য সরকার বিরোধিতা? সমবায় তো সংবিধান অনুযায়ী রাজ্যের বিষয়, স্যার, ম্যাডাম. Madam, another example of their anti-federal mindset is the funds disbursed by the National Cooperative Development Corporation in 2024. Only rupees 3 crores were given to my state, Bangla, that has 9th highest development corporation in 2024 in the country, whereas 2800 crores were given to a state that 18th highest cooperative societies. The difference between these two are simple. These two states are simple. One is BJP ruled and another is ruled by a leader who understands cooperative way better than the ruling benches. যে রাজ্য ডাবল ইঞ্জিন গভর্নমেন্ট সেখানে 2800 কোটি আর আমাদের বিরোধী রাজ্য বলে মাত্র 3 কোটি। লজ্জা লজ্জা। On one hand, the government claims that micro ATMs are being set up within cooperative societies to provide easier access to banking services. However, on the other hand, the RBI has increased charges on withdrawal of money from rupees 2 to rupees 23 per transaction. This makes me ask you, why are you so anti-poor? Why so anti-people? Why are you putting so heavy penalties on people from withdrawing their own money from ATMs? কেন এত গরিব বিরোধিতা, ম্যাডাম? নিজের ব্যাংক অ্যাকাউন্টের টাকা ATM থেকে তুলতে 23 টাকা চার্জ লাগবে, ম্যাডাম? Shame on them. Madam, the Home and Cooperation Minister, in his reply in this discussion on the bill in Lok Sabha, claimed that this university would train individuals annually and lead to job creation in the cooperative sector. Let me give some statistics on the track record of this government. Under their flagship program, PMKVY, only 15% of the trained candidates were placed under the program. In fact, the placements have been delaying from PMKVY 4. Half of the college students are not ready to be employed after graduating, and only 4 out of 10 youth in the workforce possess formal skills. 80% of the unemployed are youth, and 1 in 3 youth are neither in education, employment, nor training within women, making 95% of this group. This is their track record. Whereas, when I compare this to my home state, Bangla, I am proud to say that today in Bengal, we have over 30,000 cooperatives employing near 90 lakh people. In fact, if we look at women in self-help groups, Bengal has the second highest number of women mobilized in self-help groups with over 1 crore women. Whereas the Prime Minister Ji and Home Minister Ji's home state of Gujarat has only around 28 lakh women in self-help groups. বাংলার দিকে যদি তাকান 30,000 সমবায় 90 লাখ জন কাজ করেন আর মেয়েদের থেকে সেলফ হেল্প গ্রুপে বাংলা গোটা দেশের দ্বিতীয়, যেখানে 1 কোটি মহিলা কাজ করেন, আর গুজরাটে মাত্র 28 লাখ। ম্যাডাম, শেম। Learn from our 3-time outstanding CM. She is one of the most respected leaders across the world who recently addressed Oxford University showcasing the success story of Bengal, that is Bengal's development. She is unparalleled and she is unlikely of mainstream politics in all respect. I leave you 3 suggestions, sir. 1, send this bill to the department-related standing committee on education for more scrutiny. 2nd, I want to know when is the statutory resolution on Manipur being discussed and when are free and fair elections related to epic cards being discussed. অপরাজিতা বিল কবে পাশ করবেন? মণিপুর নিয়ে কবে আলোচনা হবে? হোম মিনিস্ট্রির দায়িত্ব মণিপুরে শান্তি স্থাপন করা। কেমন শান্তি হচ্ছে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। ডুপ্লিকেশন অন এপিক কার্ড সংসদে আলোচনা আর 2 দিন বাকি, কবে হবে? ন্যাশনাল ক্রাইম রেকর্ড ব্যুরো রিপোর্ট দেখলেও বোঝা যায় দেশ কিভাবে চলছে। দেশে মেজরিটি মাইনরিটির মধ্যে মাইনরিটিও বেঁচে देशेर अधिकार केड़े नेওয়া হয়। ছি, डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ एपिक कार्ड और मणिपुर के ऊपर डिस्कशन चाहिए और दिस बिल को कमेटी में भेजिए मैडम। थैंक यू मैडम।
धन्यवाद। माननीय सदस्य श्री KRN राजेश कुमार, आपका समय है 9 मिनट।
மாண்புமிகு பேரவை உதவி தலைவர் அவர்களே, இந்த கூட்டுறவு பல்கலைக்கழக சட்ட முன்வரைவில் பேசுவதற்கு எனக்கு அனுமதி அளித்த மாண்புமிகு தமிழ்நாட்டினுடைய முதலமைச்சர் தளபதி அவர்களுக்கும், மாண்புமிகு துணை முதலமைச்சர் உதயநிதி அண்ணன் அவர்களுக்கும், எங்களுடைய மாநிலங்களவை குழு தலைவர் அண்ணன் திருச்சி சிவா அவர்களுக்கும் எங்களுடைய நன்றியை நான் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்தியாவில் முதலில் கூட்டுறவு அமைப்பு உருவாக்கப்பட்ட இடம் தமிழ்நாட்டில் திரூர் என்னும் இடத்தில் கூட்டுறவு கடன் சங்கம் முதலில் தோற்றுவிக்கப்பட்டது. ஆண்டு 1904 ஆண்டாகும். இந்திய திருநாட்டிற்கு கூட்டுறவு அமைப்பை அறிமுகப்படுத்திய மாநிலம் தமிழ்நாடாகும் என்பதை இந்த அவையில் நான் பதிவு செய்து கொள்ள கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். இந்த சட்ட முன்வடிவு ஒரு கூட்டுறவு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை தோற்றுவிப்பதற்காக இந்த சட்ட முன்வரைவு இங்கு தாக்கல் செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. ஒன்றிய அரசாங்கத்தின் கீழ் பல்வேறு அமைச்சகங்கள், பல்வேறு துறைகள் இருக்கின்றன. அந்தந்த துறைகள் தங்கள் துறை சார்ந்த பல்கலைக்கழகங்களை நிறுவப்பட வேண்டும் என்று சொன்னால் அவர்கள் சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஆக்ட் கீழ்தான் அந்த பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் அமைப்பட வேண்டும் என்பது, அப்படி அமைந்தால்தான் அதற்கு யூனிவர்சிட்டி கிராண்ட் கமிஷன் அந்த பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் வழங்குகின்ற பட்டத்திற்கு அங்கீகாரம் அளிக்கிறது. சமீபத்தில் கூட 2 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பு இதே மாநிலங்களவையில் ரயில்வே துறையின் சார்பாக ஒரு பல்கலைக்கழகம் நிறுவப்பட்டது. அந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஆக்டின் கீழ் தான் அது அமைக்கப்பட்டது. அதுதான் காலங்காலமாக இருந்து வருகின்ற நடைமுறை. ஆனால் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகமானது சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஆக்டின் கீழ் வரவில்லை. இந்த கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் இது தனியாக ஒரு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை இன்றைக்கு இந்த சட்ட முன்வரைவை தாக்கல் செய்திருக்கிறது. இதற்கு யுஜிசியின் அங்கீகாரம் இருக்கிறதா? இங்கு வழங்கப்படுகின்ற பட்டத்திற்கு, முதுகலை பட்டத்திற்கு, ஆராய்ச்சி படிப்புக்கு எதிர்காலத்தில் இதற்கு அங்கீகாரம் இருக்கிறதா என்பது கேள்விக்குறியாகவே இருக்கிறது. இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தினுடைய பெயர் திருபுவனம் சர்க்காரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி என்று இந்த சட்ட முன்வரைவில் குறிப்பிடப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. இந்த திருபுவனம் அந்த குஜராத் மாநிலத்திலே இருந்த ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய கூட்டுறவு தலைவரை குறிப்பிட்டு திருபுவனம் என்று குறிப்பிடப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. அதை நாங்கள் வரவேற்கிறோம். அதில் எங்களுக்கு மாற்று கருத்து இல்லை. ஆனால் சர்க்காரி என்றால் கூட்டுறவு. இதை நாங்கள் எப்படி இந்தி பேசாத மக்கள் புரிந்து கொள்வது? இந்த மாமன்றத்தில் மறைந்த நமது பாரத பிரதமர் அவர்கள் இந்தி பேசாத மக்கள் விரும்புகிற வரை இரு மொழி கொள்கையை கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டும் என்று கூறியிருக்கிறார். அதை காங்கிரஸ் ஆட்சியிலேயும் நடைமுறைப்படுத்தப்பட்டு வந்திருக்கிறது பல்வேறு தருணங்களில். இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் நிறுவப்பட்டால் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் பெயர் எதிர்காலத்தில் ஆங்கிலத்தில் எழுதப்பட்டாலும் கூட திருபுவனம் சர்க்காரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி என்றுதான் எழுதுவார்கள். ஆனால் திருபுவனம் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் யூனிவர்சிட்டி என்று இந்த சட்ட திருத்தத்திலேயே இது ஆங்கிலத்திலும் இதற்காக நீங்கள் குறிப்பிடப்பட வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் எங்களுடைய வேண்டுகோள். அப்பொழுதுதான் இந்தி பேசாத மக்களும் இதை புரிந்து கொள்ள ஏதுவாக இருக்கும் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்திலே நான் பதிவு செய்து கொள்ள கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். மாண்புமிகு பேரவை துணைத் தலைவர் அவர்களே, தமிழ்நாட்டில் மட்டுமல்ல, இந்தியாவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பல்வேறு மாநிலங்களில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில், கல்லூரிகளில் கூட்டுறவுத்துறை சார்ந்த அண்டர் கிராஜுவேட் பாடப்பிரிவுகள், போஸ்ட் கிராஜுவேட் பாடப்பிரிவுகள் உள்ளன. ஆராய்ச்சி படிப்புகளும் உள்ளன. ஏன் ஒன்றிய அரசாங்கத்தின் கீழ் இயங்கக்கூடிய நேஷனல் கவுன்சில் ஃபார் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் ட்ரைனிங் கீழே ஏறத்தாழ 21 கூட்டுறவு கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள் இருக்கின்றன. புனேவில் உலக புகழ் பெற்ற வைகுந்த மேத்தா போஸ்ட் கிராஜுவேட் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கல்வி நிறுவனமும் இருக்கிறது. இப்படி நமது நாட்டில் கூட்டுறவு கல்விக்காகவும் ஆராய்ச்சிக்காகவும் பல்வேறு நிறுவனங்கள் ஏற்கனவே இந்த நாட்டிலே இருக்கிறது. அவ்வாறு இருக்க இந்த புதிய பல்கலைக்கழகம் அமைக்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் என்ன என்று எனக்கு தெரியவில்லை. ஏனென்றால் இந்திய திருநாட்டில் ஏற்கனவே அனைத்து கட்டமைப்புகளும் இருக்கிறது. நம்முடைய முன்னாள் பாரத பிரதமர் பண்டிட் ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு அனைத்து கட்டமைப்புகளையும் உருவாக்கி வைத்திருக்கிறார். அதை நீங்கள் சீர்குலைக்காது இருந்தாவே போதும். இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் உருவாக்கப்பட்டதற்கான நோக்கம் தெளிவாக இல்லை. ஏற்கனவே அனைத்து மாநிலங்களிலும் கூட்டுறவு ஒன்றியங்கள் மூலமாக கூட்டுறவு பயிற்சிகள் நிறுவனங்கள் இருக்கிறது. அவ்வாறு இருக்க இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் அமைப்பதற்கான நோக்கம் என்ன? அதே போன்று பேரவை தலைவர் அவர்களே, இப்பொழுது கூட்டுறவு பட்டப்படிப்பு படித்தால் அவர்களுக்கான வேலை வாய்ப்பு என்ன என்பதை பற்றியும் கேள்விக்குறியாக இருக்கிறது. கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்களிலே இப்ப நவீனமயமாக்கப்பட்ட இந்த தருணத்தில் கணிப்பொறிகள் வந்துவிட்ட காரணத்தினால் அங்கு வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் குறைந்திருக்கின்ற நிலையில் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் நாளை படித்து வெளியே வருகின்ற அவர்களுக்கு வேலைக்கு உறுதிக்கு என்ன வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது என்பது சந்தேகமாக இருக்கிறது என்பதை இந்த நேரத்தில் நான் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அதே போன்று இந்த சட்ட முன்வரைவில் பல்வேறு வார்த்தைகள் குறிப்பிடப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. நான் அதை படிக்க போது நேஷனல் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் என்று குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கிறார்கள், சென்டர் ஆஃப் எக்ஸலன்சி என்று குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அதையெல்லாம் நாங்கள் ஒற்றுக்கொள்கிறோம். ஆனால் இதற்கான நிதி ஆதாரம் என்ன? இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை நடத்துவதற்கான நிதி ஆதாரங்கள் எங்கிருந்து வருகிறது என்பதையும் இவர்கள் குறிப்பிடப்படவில்லை என்பதை நான் இந்த நேரத்தில் பதிவு செய்து கொள்ள கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். மாண்புமிகு பேரவை துணைத் தலைவர் அவர்களே, பல்வேறு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் பல்வேறு கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்கள் உள்ளன. குறிப்பாக அனைத்து அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் இருக்கக்கூடிய செயற்பதிவாளர்கள் கீழ் அனைத்து கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் பல்வேறு கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்கள் இன்றும் சிறப்பாக செயல்பட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் என்பது கூட்டுறவு கொள்கை மற்றும் திட்டங்கள், கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்களுக்கு தேவையான நிதி உதவி மற்றும் எதிர்காலத்தில் அதனுடைய செயல்பாடுகளை வகுக்க வேண்டும். ஆனால் இப்பொழுது கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் பல்வேறு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் இருக்கக்கூடிய கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்களை தன்னுடைய நிர்வாகத்தின் கீழ் கொண்டு வருவதற்கு இந்த கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் முயற்சி செய்கிறது. குறிப்பாக நான் இந்த அவையில் ஒன்றை பதிவு செய்து கொள்ள கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் நன்றாக தெரியும், இஃப்கோ இந்திய உழவர் உர கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனம், இந்தியன் ஃபார்மர் ஃபெர்டிலைசர்ஸ் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் கார்பரேஷன், இது மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனம். இது சுதந்திரம் காலத்தில் இருந்தே இந்த இஃப்கோ நிறுவனம், கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனம், இந்த உர அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் அண்டர் தி மினிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் ஃபெர்டிலைசர்ஸ் கீழும் கெமிக்கல் மினிஸ்ட்ரி கீழே தான் செயல்பட்டு வந்தது. ஆனால் இப்பொழுது அவசரமாக இந்த இஃப்கோ கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனத்தை கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் நிர்வாகத்தின் கீழ் மாற்றியிருக்கிறார்கள். ஒரு துறை சார்ந்த கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனம் அந்த துறை சார்ந்த அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் இயங்குவதுதான் நேச்சர். அதுதான் ஒரு தொழில்நுட்ப ரீதியாக இருக்கக்கூடிய கூட்டுறவு நிறுவனங்கள் அந்த துறை சார்ந்து இருக்க வேண்டும். ஆனால் உரக அமைச்சகத்திலிருந்து ரசாயன அமைச்சகத்திலிருந்து இஃப்கோவை இங்கு கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகத்துக்கு மாற்றியதனுடைய நோக்கம் என்ன? அதே போன்றுதான் இதனால் என்ன பலன் ஏற்பட போகிறது? உர அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் இஃப்கோ செயல்பட்டாதான் அதனுடைய எதிர்காலத்தில் அதனுடைய சவால்களை சமாளிக்க முடியும். இப்பொழுது உக்ரைன் போர் வந்தபோது இந்திய உர அமைச்சகத்தினுடைய செயல்பாடு பெரிய அளவில் இருந்தபோது அப்பொழுது இஃப்கோவுடைய பங்கு இருந்தது. அப்பொழுதுதான் ஒருங்கிணைந்து பணியாற்ற முடியும். ஆனால் அதை அந்த இஃப்கோ நிறுவனத்தை இப்பொழுது கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் மாற்றியிருக்கிறார்கள். அதே போன்று இந்த சட்ட முன் வடிவில் கூட வரைவில் என்ன குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கிறார்கள்? இவர்கள் ஒன்றும் புதிதாக ஒரு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை உருவாக்கவில்லை. ஏற்கனவே கால்நடை, பால்வளத்துறை, மீன்வளத்துறையிலே கீழ் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆனந்த் நகரிலே செயல்பட்டு வரக்கூடிய ஒரு ஏற்கனவே சிறப்பாக செயல்பட்டு வரக்கூடிய நேஷனல் ரூரல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்டை தான் அந்த இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்டை இவர்கள் பல்கலைக்கழகமாக மாற்ற முயற்சித்து இந்த சட்ட முன்வரைவை இங்கு தாக்கல் செய்திருக்கிறார்கள். இப்படி ஒரு நிறுவனத்தை அளித்து ஒரு நிறுவனத்தை கொண்டு வருவது எந்த விதத்தில் நியாயம் என்பதை எனக்கு தெரியவில்லை. அதே போன்று கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் இப்பொழுது கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் ஒன் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் ஒன் சென்ட்ரல் பேங்க் என்கின்ற அந்த புதிய கொள்கையை அறிவித்திருக்கிறது. அது இப்பொழுது பெயர் அளவில் தான் இருக்கிறது. அது இன்னும் பெயர் அளவில் தான் இருக்கிறது. அதற்கு கூட்டுறவுத்துறை அமைச்சகம் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்திற்கு இந்த ஒன் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் ஒன் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் சென்ட்ரல் பேங்க் என்ற நிறுவனத்திற்கு நீங்கள் நிதியுதவி அளிக்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு மேலும் நபார்டுக்கு தேவையான நிதி உதவியை வழங்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டு, அதே போன்று கூட்டுறவுடைய வளர்ச்சிக்கும் இந்த கூட்டுறவு அமைச்சகம் பணியாற்ற வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டு வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறுகிறேன்.
डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार मित्तल, आपके पास 7 मिनट हैं.
धन्यवाद महोदय. आज आपने मुझे त्रिभुवन सहकारी यूनिवर्सिटी बिल पर बोलने का अवसर दिया. यह एक अच्छी पहल है और कोऑपरेटिव क्षेत्र को शिक्षा से जोड़ने का एक अच्छा प्रयास है। कोऑपरेटिव की धारा बिल्कुल शांत नदी की तरह बहती है, या किसी सीमा को नहीं देखती, किसी मंजिल को नहीं देखती। जब भी ये जाती है, विकास के छोटे बड़े बीज बोती हुई जाती है और चलती जाती है और आर्थिक सहयोग को विकसित करती है। भारत में सहकारिता की परंपरा काफी पुरानी है। अगर हम इतिहास की ओर देखें तो महात्मा गांधी जी ने ग्राम स्वराज के विचार के माध्यम से खादी और ग्रामीण उद्योगों को के थ्रू सहकारिता को बढ़ाया दिया और इससे आजादी की लड़ाई से भी जोड़ा। मतलब ये हमारे लिए इतना महत्वपूर्ण है। श्री त्रिभुवन भाई पटेल जी जैसे अन्य किसानों ने इसे आगे लाकर इस विचार को साकार किया और इस सहकारिता से जन्मी अमूल भारत ही नहीं बल्कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा डेयरी ब्रांड बन चुका है। आज मैं इस मौके पर वर्गीस कुरियन जी को भी नमन करता हूं कि जितना बहुत बड़ा योगदान उन्होंने कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट को बढ़ाने में भारत में दिया। यह विधेयक उस समय आ रहा है जब यूनाइटेड नेशंस 2025 को इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव घोषित किए हुए है। हम जानते हैं कि आज भारत में 8 लाख से अधिक सहकारी समितियां हैं जिसमें 30 करोड़ सदस्य जुड़े हुए हैं। मतलब कि एक बहुत बड़ा सेगमेंट हमारी सोसाइटी का इस सेगमेंट से जुड़ा हुआ है। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि यह बिल कोऑपरेटिव क्षेत्र के लिए वही कार्य करेगा जो आईआईटी ने इंजीनियरिंग के लिए और आईआईएम्स ने मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन के लिए किया। पर यह तभी संभव हो पाएगा जब यह एक डायनामिक यूनिवर्सिटी बने, एक मल्टी डायमेंशनल यूनिवर्सिटी बने और एक इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटी बने। अब मैं कुछ बातें बिल के प्रावधानों पर करना चाहूंगा। क्लास 4 के तहत इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ रूरल मैनेजमेंट आनंद को एक विश्वविद्यालय के रूप में विकसित करने का प्रावधान है और इसका नाम त्रिभुवन सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय है। सरकार ने इसके लिए 500 करोड़ का फंड भी घोषित किया है। 500 करोड़ का फंड भी घोषित किया है। यह विश्वविद्यालय एक इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस के रूप में घोषित किया जाएगा, जो कि एक अच्छा कदम है। इसके साथ साथ IRMA जो पुराना इंस्टीट्यूट चल रहा है उसको भी सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस घोषित किया जाएगा और उसकी ऑटोनॉमी को मेंटेन रखा जाएगा। क्लास 6 में विश्वविद्यालय के उद्देश्य स्पष्ट किए गए हैं, जैसे कि कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर के लिए ट्रेन मैन पावर तैयार करना, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज के कर्मचारियों और बोर्ड मेंबर्स को ट्रेनिंग देना, रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट को बढ़ावा देना और इस क्षेत्र में स्टार्टअप, इनोवेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए भी जरूरी कदम उठाना। अब जब मैं आगे बढ़ता हूं तो मेरे कुछ सुझाव आते हैं जो मैं देना चाहूंगा। कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी में पीढ़ियों से कुछ लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा योगदान दिया है, इस मूवमेंट से भी जुड़े रहे और जैसे कि शुगर मिल्स हैं, डेयरी यूनियंस हैं, APMCs हैं, वुमेन सोसाइटी हैं, किसान ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैं। तो मैं निवेदन करूंगा सरकार से कि ऐसे लोग जो इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं पीढ़ियों से, उनको एडमिशन में प्राथमिकता दी जाए, उनको नौकरियों में प्राथमिकता दी जाए, यानी कि उनके लिए विशेष रिजर्वेशन का प्रावधान इस बिल के अंदर ही किया जाए। इस विधेयक के क्लास 7 में एक प्रावधान है कि विश्वविद्यालय अपनी जरूरत और उद्देश्यों की पूर्ति के लिए आउटलाइन कैंपस या स्किल डेवलपमेंट कैंपस खोल सकता है। मैं इस अवसर पर एक मांग करूंगा माननीय मंत्री जी से, आपके माध्यम से। मैं पंजाब से आता हूं और पंजाब एक ऐसा राज्य है जिसने कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट में सबसे ज्यादा सहयोग दिया है। देश की खाद्य सुरक्षा की बात आई तो पंजाब सबसे आगे आके खड़ा हुआ। यदि देश में ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन सक्सेसफुल हुआ, कामयाब हुआ, तो उसमें भी सबसे ज्यादा योगदान पंजाब का रहा और पंजाब ने पूरे देश का पेट भरा। पंजाब में वेरका, सोना, पंजाब एग्रो जैसी सरकारी संस्थाएं भी हैं जिन्होंने इस योगदान में महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा डाला। तो मैं सरकार से फिर दोबारा मांग करूंगा कि त्रिभुवन सहकारी यूनिवर्सिटी का जो सबसे पहले आउटलाइन कैंपस खोला जाए तो वो पंजाब में खोला जाए। ये मेरी माननीय मंत्री जी से निवेदन है और मुझे लगता है कि बाकी लोग भी मुझे इसमें सपोर्ट करेंगे। अब हम आगे बढ़े, जो सहकारिता है, कई बार हमें लगता है सिर्फ आर्थिक संरचना है, बल्कि वो नहीं, वो एक आर्ट भी हो सकती है, वो एक साइंस भी हो सकती है, क्योंकि इसमें हर क्षेत्र आ जाता है। चाहे डेयरी भी आती है, इसमें कृषि भी आती है, टेक्सटाइल का रॉ मटेरियल भी आता है, बैंकिंग भी कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी का एक अभिन्न अंग है, हाउसिंग भी उसमें आता है, फिशरीज भी आती है, हैंडीक्राफ्ट भी आती है, कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज भी आती है, बहुत अलग अलग मुद्दे आते हैं। तो मेरा सुझाव होगा कि इस विश्वविद्यालय में जरूर करो जनाब, विश्वविद्यालय में सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक कोर्स शुरू किए जाए। आप सिफारिश कर दीजिएगा मंत्री जी से, आप इधर ही आके बैठेंगे आपके साथ। विश्वविद्यालय में सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक कोर्स शुरू किए जाए, जिससे कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर की सप्लाई चेन के हर अंग को मजबूती मिले और ग्राउंड लेवल से ग्लोबल लेवल तक भारत की सहकारिता को मजबूत बनाया जा सके। ये मेरा निवेदन रहेगा माननीय मंत्री जी से आपके थ्रू। क्लास 9 में सरकार को कुछ एक्सेसिव पावर है, यहां तक कि यूनिवर्सिटी के किसी डिसीजन को भी, फैसले को भी रद्द कर सकती है। एक तरफ हम इसे इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस बना रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ कह रहे हैं सरकार बीच में कभी भी उसके किसी फैसले को रद्द कर सकती है। तो ये थोड़ा कंट्राडिक्टरी है। तो मैं निवेदन करूंगा मंत्री जी से आपके थ्रू कि उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस को बचाए रखने के लिए, उसकी एमिनेंस के स्टेटस को बचाए रखने के लिए सरकार की दखल अंदाजी ना हो और सरकार को किसी उसके फैसले को रद्द करने का अधिकार ना हो। एक सब एमपीज की तरफ से भी निवेदन करूंगा मंत्री जी को कि जो सेंट्रल विश्वविद्यालय, बहुत सेंट्रल विश्वविद्यालय में मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को एक सीट दी जाती है गवर्निंग बॉडी में, लेकिन इसमें नहीं है वो प्रावधान। और हम में बहुत मेंबर पार्लियामेंट ऐसे होंगे जो कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट से जुड़े हुए हैं, जो किसान मूवमेंट से जुड़े हुए हैं, बस आधा मिनट जी, जुड़े हुए हैं, तो उनको इसमें सभी की मांग है जी। तो इसमें उनको एक सीट जरूर, एक मेंबर जरूर बनाया जाए, सो दैट वो एमपी का हमारे फायदा उठा सके।
धन्यवाद।
बस आखिरी लाइन रहेगी मैडम, क्योंकि यदि ये मंत्रालय अमित शाह जी के पास है तो हम सबकी उम्मीद बढ़ जाती है कि इससे बहुत बढ़िया काम होगा। तो इसीलिए इसीलिए मैं उम्मीद करता हूं,
प्लीज कंक्लूड।
हो गया जी कंक्लूड, कि इसमें जो मेरे सेशन को ध्यान दिया जाए। और मैं बस 1-2 लाइनों से खत्म करूंगा। अब ज्ञान से सहकार का दीप जलाएं हम।
आपका समय समाप्त हो गया माननीय सदस्य, बात आ गई, प्लीज कंक्लूड। श्री सुभाषीष कुटिया जी,
जय जगन्नाथ।
8 मिनट है।
ऑनरेबल वाइस चेयरमैन मैडम, टुडे ऑन उत्कल दिवस we honor Odisha's rich cultural heritage and contributions. Best wishes to all. Bande Utkal Janani. Madam, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill. मैडम, यह बिल हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था के 2 महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभों शिक्षा और कोऑपरेटिव से जुड़ा हुआ है। Madam, at first glance, this bill appears to be about strengthening cooperative education. लेकिन असल में ये कोऑपरेटिव संस्थानों के शिक्षा के नाम पर केंद्र के नियंत्रण में लाने का प्रयास है। मैडम, हमारी संविधान की कंक्रीट लिस्ट में शिक्षा का विषय आता है, जिसका मतलब है कि केंद्र और राज्य दोनों को मिलकर फैसला लेना चाहिए। लेकिन यह सरकार राज्य से बिना सलाह किए दिल्ली में सीधे फैसले थोपने की आदत बना चुकी है। Madam, I would like to mention some of the clauses of the given bill which promotes centralization. Madam, clause 2 declares this newly established university as an institution of national importance, ensuring central control. Clause 11 and 15 brings IRMA under this new university by establishing the Institute of Rural Management and the school within it. Clause 9 gives the central government power to review and issue direction, tightening control. Madam, is this cooperative federalism? Where is the dialogue with the states in taking decision mentioned in this bill? Where is the discussion with existing cooperative institution in taking decision mentioned in this bill? This is a complete violation of the constitutional provision given under Schedule 7 of the Constitution. सरकार कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म की बात करती है, लेकिन हकीकत में यह कोऑपरेटिव हाईजैकिंग कर रही है। मैडम, हर राज्य के सहकारी मॉडल अलग होती है। कोऑपरेटिव फंक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू लोकल नीड्स एंड रेगुलेशन and their operations vary from state to state. These involve local technique अलग होती है। Cooperative function according to local needs and regulation and their operations vary from state to state. These involve local techniques and technicians and different styles of working. For example, madam, the sugarcane cooperatives of Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh are different from the dairy cooperatives of Gujarat. In Odisha, we have palm cultivation cooperatives, fisheries cooperatives, and Mission Shakti women-led SAG, each with distinct structures. सब अलग-अलग ढंग से काम करते हैं, madam. Yet this bill fails to recognize this variation and forces all cooperatives under one central framework, undermining the very essence of the decentralization, madam. Madam, IRMA was established with state participation and operates independently. But this bill takes the opposite approach, full central control. Why? This is not cooperative education. This is cooperative capturing, madam. मैडम, अगर सरकार वास्तव में कोऑपरेटिव्स को मजबूत करना चाहती है तो उसे जनता को अधिकार देना चाहिए। Odisha has already empowered 70 lakh women through Mission Shakti under leadership of our beloved leader Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, by giving them direct control over self-help groups, SAGs. Why is this government afraid of empowering the people? सरकार महिलाओं के एम्पावरमेंट के लिए ओडिशा में यूनिवर्सिटी क्यों नहीं स्थापित कर सकती, जबकि इसके लिए पहले से ही एक मजबूत स्ट्रक्चर मौजूद है। इसे बस थोड़ा बढ़ावा देने का जरूरत है, जिससे बड़े और प्रभावी परिणाम मिल सकती है। मैडम, सरकार इस विश्वविद्यालय का नाम त्रिभुवन दास पटेल जी के नाम पर रख रही है। ही वॉज द पायनियर ऑफ इंडियाज कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट। त्रिभुवन जी महात्मा गांधी के फॉलोअर थे। डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन, सहकारिता, सशक्तिकरण और स्थानीय उद्योगी पक्षघर थे, जबकि यह बिल विपरीत दिशा में जाकर सहकारी संस्थाओं की कंट्रोल दिल्ली को दे रहा है। Madam, it is good that government has proposed to set up this university. In this context, I want to say that Odisha is home to some of the largest and most vibrant cooperative movements in India. Mission Shakti, like Mission Shakti, Odisha's Jagannath Temple in Puri runs one of world's largest cooperative kitchens, serving lakhs of devotees daily. Traditional artisans, carpenters, painters, and cooks play a crucial role in Odisha's economy through cooperative frameworks. Why not establish a skill development university in Odisha to strengthen Mission Shakti, food processing cooperatives, and rural artisans, and empower women and people at large in a proper cooperative framework? Why not set a food craft institute in Puri? सरकार यदि कोऑपरेटिव एजुकेशन को मजबूत करना चाहती है तो ओडिशा को प्राथमिकता देना चाहिए। मैडम, ओडिशा में 40% SC/ST आबादी है। भारत के कुल खनिज उत्पादन में ओडिशा का योगदान 50% है, लेकिन लाभ किसे मिलता है? Not the tribal people who live on this land and who are the true owner of these resources, but a handful of corporate players. क्यों? अपना जमीन, उनका खनिज और फायदा किसी को। The biggest reason for this exploitation is the rise of mine developers and operators, private farms that act as middlemen, reducing tribals to mere daily wage laborers on their own land। क्यों हमारे आदिवासी भाई बहनों अपने ही जमीन पर एक मजदूर की तरह काम करें और अरबों रुपए का मुनाफा कमाए। हमें एमडीओस के स्थान पर कोऑपरेटिव माइनिंग करना चाहिए। ट्राइबल लेड माइनिंग so that they extract their own minerals and reap the benefits, and establish a skill development university for tribal cooperative mining। Madam, cooperatives are not built through bureaucratic control. They grow by empowering people. But sadly, empowerment is not in this government dictionary। मैडम, भारत में लगभग 8 लाख कोऑपरेटिव है, जिनके 30 करोड़ से अधिक सदस्य है। हर 5वां भारतीय किसी न किसी सहकारी संस्था की हिस्सा है। 75 वर्ष में भारत को पहले बार एक सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय मिलने जा रहा है। दिस इज ए हिस्टोरिकल मूवमेंट मैडम। इफ दिस bill is to serve its true purpose, it must ensure academic and financial autonomy for the university, respect the role of states in cooperative education, support decentralized cooperative education models, encourage participatory governance, not bureaucratic interference, should take help from the local regional college, which will bring expertise from all sectors, including technical, health, agriculture, rural management, and many more। मैं सरकार से अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि इस विधेयक में जरूरी संशोधन करें, ताकि यह वास्तव में कोऑपरेटिव्स को मजबूत कर सके। मैडम, अंत में मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि नींव के बिना इमारत टिकती नहीं है और बिना जनभागीदारी विकास दिखाता नहीं है। यह बिल अगर रोशनी है तो प्रकाश हर जगह पहुंचना चाहिए, ना कि सिर्फ दिल्ली के दरबार में झलकना चाहिए। धन्यवाद। वंदे उत्कल जननी, जय जगन्नाथ। और मैं एक बार फिर आप सभी को उत्कल दिवस का बधाई देता हूं। जय जगन्नाथ।
धन्यवाद माननीय सदस्य। माननीय सदस्य श्री अयोध्या रामी रेड्डी आला, आपके पास 8 मिनट समय है।
Thank you, madam, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill 2025. Madam, the purpose of this bill is to establish IRMA as a Tribhuvan Sahakari University. The objectives are very clear. It's going to bring education, training, capacity building in cooperative sector, also undertakes R&D activities in related areas. This bill also, through the university, is going to offer the degrees, postgraduate degrees, programs, distance learnings, e-learnings, and courses on Center of Excellence in cooperative sector, which is very welcoming. It is also going to establish outlying campuses or affiliate institutions across India and abroad. This is also very good objective. The current bill will become one autonomous school within the current IRMA will become an autonomous school within the university. It will become Center of Excellence for rural management for the entire country. Again, very, very welcoming. Through this bill, the university is going to be instituted for systematic study of cooperative institutions, is a laudable achievement and benefits the non-credit sectors such as weavers, artisans, marketing professionals, and others. Our country has used this economic model as a vehicle, as a symbol of democratic wealth creation. Identifying the potential, our Prime Minister aptly called it a middle path between socialism and capitalism, where wealth is created in democratic manner with collective ownership. Madam, there are some issues around the cooperative sector. One of the most important is non-fulfillment of announced cooperation, that is linked targets. I want the Union Minister for Cooperation to look at how cooperative societies played a huge role in the country. It is accounting for 19% in agriculture credit, 35% in fertilizer distribution, 25% in fertilizer production, 31% in sugar production, 10% of production and procurement of milk, 13% of wheat procurement, and 20% of paddy procurement, and 21% of fish production. In this area, the linked targets to the sector are not properly fulfilled. I want the ministry to look at it. And also stagnant allocation of National Cooperative Development Corporation's NCDC fund. So if you look at, ma'am, the allocation of NCDC has been stuck at 500 crore for past 2 years. This is going to, this is a failure on the promise that would have otherwise gone into strengthening and adding fuel to the growing cooperative sector in the country. Also sectoral disparity within cooperative societies. The National Cooperative Plan included reducing regional disparities in the cooperative sector. However, attention must also be paid to reducing disparities in between the sectors. The 23-24 cooperative societies data shows that the handloom sector, agro-processing and women's welfare, as in lower ranks of both society and sector count within cooperative institutions. This is yet another gap that remains unresolved. As we stand to discuss this bill, I want that the sectoral disparity must be addressed. Plight of handloom cooperatives in Andhra Pradesh, madam. Actually, Andhra Pradesh handloom sector is facing a severe crisis today. The per capita income is very low as 57 rupees per day, which is less than Narega even payments. The Andhra Pradesh State Handloom Weavers Cooperative Society also appoints huge number of people. There are more than 2 lakh people, are its members. There is a lot of struggle that is going on for raw materials, quality of the material, getting the right prices for that, and also even to meet the operating expenditures, there is a serious problem. And also on the formal banking credit, working capital aid, and also some welfare, basic things like ESI, EPF benefits. There is a huge problem that this Andhra cooperative sector is facing. Hence, I request the Minister of Cooperation to remove the GST on handlooms, allocate 3,000 crore of protection of handloom sector for Andhra Pradesh, issue immediate orders to support the weaver community by implementing the 200 electricity units free, clearing the pending yarn subsidies and interest areas, and also establish a handloom welfare fund board for Andhra Pradesh. Also, madam, since we are talking of the university bill, I wanted to tell there are some 17 vice chancellors in Andhra Pradesh were, directly, indirectly forced to resign at one go. Okay. This is what actually I wanted to say. I want that, in the federal system, while, it's a concurrent subject, state and central both together, this has never experienced in this form. I want that it should be certainly, looked into by the central government. And also dilution of Nadu Nedu scheme and politicization of educational reforms. Madam, in the previous YSR government, there were more than 56,000 government schools were brought under Nadu Nedu scheme, and more than 15,000 crores in the phase 1 and more than 7,000 crore in phase 2. There was a lot of amount that were spent, but that scheme, is not properly going on now. And I wanted that, there should not be any partiality, when it comes to education. The good things that have come should be continued. Removal of English as a medium of instruction in Andhra Pradesh schools. Madam, the former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy has brought in a very good improvement in bringing the educational standards for the children in Andhra Pradesh by also bringing English medium. So that particular thing, has brought the children to go on to the global platforms to become a very strong leaderships, including the best of the institution CEOs have come up, are coming up in the time to come. Madam, I wanted to tell you this bill is a very, very good bill. Need to look at, Government of India, I wanted to say that we support this bill. Look at strategizing, structuring, and also key deliverables for implementation, every state-wise and also every sector-wise. Government need to come out with good models which can sustain for time to come. With this, from YSR Congress Party, we support this bill. Thank you.
धन्यवाद महोदय। माननीय सदस्य श्री संजय यादव, आपके पास 5 मिनट हैं।
इधर 6 मिनट होगा मैडम।
5 मिनट।
थैंक यू मैडम। त्रिभुवन सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय विधेयक 2025 में चर्चा में भाग लेने के लिए समय देने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। मैडम, यह बिल इरमा की एकेडमिक फ्रीडम और इंस्टीट्यूशनल ऑटोनॉमी को कम्प्लीटली अंडरमाइन करता है। जब इस बिल की गवर्निंग बॉडी का मैं कंपोजिशन देख रहा था तो इसमें पता चला कि इसमें स्टेट रिप्रेजेंटेशन को बिल्कुल मिनिमाइज कर दिया गया है। केवल 4 प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरीज को इंक्लूड किया गया है, वो भी रोटेशन बेसिस पे। और सबसे दुखद बात यह है कि जब गवर्निंग बॉडी का आप सोशल कंपोजिशन या कंपोजिशन देख रहे हैं तो उसमें वंचित, उपेक्षित और SC, ST, OBC के लिए कोई सीट नहीं रिजर्व की है इन्होंने। SC, ST, OBC को गवर्निंग बॉडी से कंप्लीटली बॉयकॉट कर दिया गया है। मूल निवासियों के साथ। और यह चीज दर्शाता है कि इस सरकार में प्राय जितने भी बिल आ रहे हैं देखते हैं तो उसमें SC, ST, OBC को हर स्तर पे एलिमिनेट करने का एक कुचक्र रचा जा रहा है। इसमें हमारा सुझाव है गवर्निंग बॉडी में रिप्रेजेंटेशन को लेके, इसमें 20% पैक्स के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स होने चाहिए और 50% स्टेट्स के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होने चाहिए। और मैडम, इसमें देखते हैं जब रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी का इस विधेयक का टोटली अपन देखेंगे तो इसमें पाएंगे कि फैकल्टी रिक्रूटमेंट में एकेडमिक काउंसिल हो, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रोल हो या स्टूडेंट्स के एडमिशन हो, उसमें SC, ST और OBC के लिए रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी कैसे लागू होगी इसके लिए कोई स्पष्टता नहीं है। जब आप एक यूनिवर्सिटी बना रहे हैं, उसमें आप फैकल्टीज रिक्रूट करेंगे, बच्चों का एडमिशन होगा, तो आप बहुजनों को कैसे छाट सकते हैं? अब प्राय देखने में आता है कि जितने भी रिक्रूटमेंट्स हो रहे हैं, चाहे कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी हो, ये सहकारी यूनिवर्सिटी की बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसमें पिछड़े, अति पिछड़े, दलित और आदिवासियों को छाटने के लिए पहली इनकी चाल होती कि एकल पद को सृजित किया जाता है। एकल पद में बोल देते हैं कि आरक्षण नीति लागू नहीं होगी। दूसरा, कहीं हो भी गया 4-5 पद जिसमें आरक्षित वर्गों के लोग अप्लाई कर सकें, उसमें बोल देते हैं कि NFS नॉट फाउंड सुटेबल। मतलब देश की 80% ये जो आबादी है जिसमें पिछड़े, दलित, अति पिछड़े हैं, उनमें उनको कोई कैंडिडेट सुटेबल नहीं मिलता। इस देश के मूल निवासी में इनको कोई एक कैंडिडेट ऐसा नहीं मिलता कि जो सुटे चाहिए। हमारी मांग है इस बिल में कि जो और फीस को कैप करना चाहिए। बात करते हैं सहकार से समृद्धि की, लेकिन किसान के सुख, सम्मान और आय में कोई वृद्धि नहीं तो समृद्धि कहां से होगी? मैडम, जैसे दिया और बाती का और अंकुर और माटी का रिश्ता होता है, ऐसे ही यही रिश्ता सहकारिता और कृषि का तथा सहकारजनों और किसानों का होता है। जब तक आप किसानों को वो सुविधाएं नहीं देंगे, उनकी आय में वृद्धि नहीं करेंगे, तब तक सहकार से समृद्धि नहीं हो सकती। और बिहार की मैं बात करूं तो बिहार में सहकारिता विभाग क्या कर रहा है? आप बिहार में सहकारिता विभाग का प्रोग्राम करने जाते हैं, सरकारी खर्चे से वहां पॉलिटिकल भाषण होते हैं। सहकारिता को आप कैसे बढ़ाएंगे, कोऑपरेटिव के सेक्टर में आप क्या काम करेंगे, उस पर कोई नहीं होती है चर्चा। बिहार में 8,463 पैक्स हैं। इन पैक्स में से प्रतिवर्ष बजट उठा के देखिए, 2014 से देख रहे हैं, उसमें आता है कि कंप्यूटराइजेशन करेंगे। 8,463 में से अभी 2,226 पैक्स में केवल हार्डवेयर की आपूर्ति की गई है और उन्हें ऑनलाइन नहीं किया गया है। बिहार में पैक्स कंप्यूटराइजेशन के नाम पे सिर्फ हार्डवेयर डिब्बों में बंद है, कहीं कोई ट्रेनिंग भी नहीं दी गई है, कुछ ऑनलाइन भी नहीं हुआ, वो हार्डवेयर लगाया भी नहीं, सीपीयू और मॉनिटर को भी नहीं जोड़ा गया है अभी। तो बिहार की हम बात करें तो आप ये बताइए, बिहार में कमर्शियल बैंकों की हम स्थिति अगर देखें तो बिहार में केसीसी के तहत कितना लोन दिया गया है, कैसे समृद्धि होगी सहकारिता से? और बिहार का जो सीडीआर क्रेडिट डिपॉजिट रेशियो है देश में सबसे कम है। मतलब ये बिहार के किसानों से और लोगों से पैसा लेके वहां जमा करा लेते हैं, लेकिन बिहार के लोगों को ऋण नहीं देते हैं, कर्जा नहीं देते हैं। कर्जा कहां देते हैं? बिहार के बाहर के लोगों को, और फिर उस कर्जे को नीरव मोदी और मेहुल भाई लेके भाग जाते हैं और बिहार के लोग मुंह ताकते हैं। तो जो सीडीआर रेशियो है उसको, और ये गति शक्ति यूनिवर्सिटी भी गुजरात में चली गई, सहकारिता जो इरमा था वो भी चला गया, तो बिहार में भी तो मैडम कुछ होना चाहिए। सहकारिता इतने एमपी हैं वहां से, तो वहां भी कोई यूनिवर्सिटी आप दे दीजिए। सहकारिता भी गति शक्ति भी चली गई, तो बिहार का जो साख अनुपात है वो 50% है, जो कि राष्ट्रीय औसत से बहुत कम है। साख जमा जो 58% है, राष्ट्रीय औसत से बहुत कम है। और कितना दुखद है कि बिहार में केसीसी लोन के अंतर्गत केवल 12% किसानों को कर्ज मिलता है, कृषि ऋण मिलता है। पशु एवं मत्स्य पालन क्षेत्र में तो और भी बुरा हाल है। यह हाल तब है जब बिहार के लोग एनपीए नहीं करते हैं, मतलब बिहार के लोग कोई डिफॉल्ट नहीं करते हैं, फिर भी लोन नहीं देते हैं। अरे भाई, मैं तो बिहार के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ।
माननीय सदस्य, आप सही आंकड़ा बोले।
और
माननीय सदस्य बैठ जाएं।
मैडम, मैं मांग करता हूं कि बिहार में सहकारिता यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं, आप दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी दीजिए। सब कुछ गुजरात में ही नहीं, गुजरात महात्मा गांधी जी के नाम से ही गुजरात को जाना जाता है, लेकिन बिहार महात्मा गांधी जी की कर्म भूमि भी रही है, वहां भी आप कुछ ध्यान दीजिए। शुक्रिया।
माननीय सदस्य डॉक्टर मोहम्मद तंबी दुड़े, आपके पास 4 मिनट है।
नॉट मोहम्मद,
सॉरी, डॉक्टर एम तंबी दुड़ई।
State Leader Thiru Edappadi Palanisamy, I rise to participate in the discussion. Madam, this bill seeks to establish the Institute of Rural Management on Anand, Gujarat, as a Tribhuvan Sakhari University, which is now Research Society. Madam, the university is going to provide education, training, and capacity building cooperative sector, will undertake research and development activities. The object of the university is, that is the research and development is more important, not only selling the degrees. What is happening in India, most of the private universities and deemed universities, they are only selling the degrees, not considering research and development. I want to bring notice. Now we are speaking about the cooperation. Madam, cooperation, always DMK said federal cooperation. I want to know whether there is any cooperation from DMK government, rule government and central government. I don't know. There is no cooperation. How the development Tamil Nadu will take place? There must be a cooperation in that. And not only cooperation in the government side. There is no cooperation between the governor of Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu minister, Tamil Nadu chief minister. There is no cooperation there also. In appointing the Vice Chancellor, Madam, because we are discussing about the university. University means Vice Chancellor head of the university. Without Vice Chancellor, how can we run the university? True. In Tamil Nadu, 9 universities No vice chancellors. Oh. I was also professor, madam, teaching the Anna University, where that Anna University, no vice chancellor now. That is where that one kind of lady molestation took place in Anna University. What action is taken? This is a very shame. Madam, next time come to the point. Sir, first of all, I want to say, madam, regarding the university guidelines, university UGC, please, UGC has provided guidelines how to appoint the vice chancellor. Now I am an objection. The present UGC is going to bring 2025 without the nomination of the state government. It's against the federal setup. I am protecting that. Because I was also education minister. At that time, I had the role to nominate from government side, one was selecting a committee member, select vice chancellor. But madam, this is, now I am telling, because Digvijay Singh said in his speech, vice chancellor not appointed in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, so many things. Who is responsible for this? Congress is the responsible for this. 2010, UG regulation, 2010, UGC regulation stipulated there must be a nominee from the UGC. Who did it? Congress did it. Who was at that time? DMK is the partner of the government. Therefore, they at that time accepted this kind of regulation to have a nominee from the UGC. Still that regulation is there. Therefore, governor is asking, why you are the government state government rejecting to put a UGC nominee? Why? What is the problem for them? Let them put a UGC nominee and select the vice chancellor. 2010, this regulation brought by UPA government, DMK and Congress. Who is responsible? Therefore, this kind of system happening in Tamil Nadu means how they conduct the convocation. Madam, because of the no vice chancellor, there is no convocation or not taking properly. Madras University, no vice chancellor, reputed university. Anna University, no vice chancellor, there is that. Like so many universities. So due course of another 1 year, I don't think no appointment will be taken other university because of the failure of the DMK government not cooperating with the central government as well as with the governor to solve this problem. This is the basic problem.
Please,
because this is also because the education has come to the concurrent list. How it has come? This education has come to a concurrent because of the emergency period. Srimati Indira Gandhi, Prime Minister, she brought the education from the state subject to concurrent list. That is why they are suffering now. 18 years they were ruled. They never bothered to remove this kind of thing. I am once again telling, Tamil Nadu is suffering without vice chancellor of many universities. Let the some kind.
प्लीज कंक्लूड. आपका समय समाप्त हुआ माननीय सदस्य. आप बैठ जाओ. श्री माननीय सदस्य श्री अब्दुल बहाव,
थैंक यू मैम.
आपके पास 3 मिनट हैं.
Oh, thank you very much for giving me 3 minutes with your courtesy. This university, I was proposing in the last year about this one. So I congratulate Amit Shah ji. At least hearing my one, out of these 18 years, I got one chance to having this one accepted by my proposal. But the only problem is it is very good. Everything is good. Name and place is little problem for us. So we don't have anything against him, but only thing is not George Kurian, our Varghese Kurian. You know the Varghese Kurian, everybody. If it was in Kerala, in his name, it was wonderful. That is only my regret. But in Kerala, there are a lot of, there in Gujarat only one Anand. But in Kerala, so many Anands. So many Anands. You can name ULCC, Kudumbashree, so many. So we are not having aims. We are not getting that. Nothing, no national sort of institutions are not coming. I don't know, without the Corporation of Kerala government with the governor, that also we accepted now. New governor, our Pinarayi Vijayan is sitting together always. Okay? So But now also we are not getting. Even this also is in Gujarat. Nothing wrong in Gujarat. Gujarat is also part of India. It's no a problem. But only in Gujarat, that is only one problem. And second thing is, we want this year, last year I proposed this one, so we got this year. Just like that, I propose now seeing Mr. Jayant here, a skill university. Also should be there. That also should not go to other places. In your place, should come to Kerala. Then name of the university I told, location I told. Then what I have to mention, another one is this reservation. I don't know how they are putting that one. It is not well cleared. And definitely there will be Vice Chancellor, don't worry, Thambidurai. It is not a question of Vice Chancellor or Chancellor. Its only thing is cooperation. There is no cooperation between states and the central government. That is what is happening in Kerala. Last, for the name. For the name or namesake only, name as are the problem. Everything is PM, which our Kerala government is not accepting. There should be at least CM in there. Instead of PM, it should be CM, Chief Minister, Yojana, decent. Yojana, okay, in the word, and we are not objecting just like Tamil Nadu. Anything, we are not worried about any Hindi name. We are only worried about the content only. Content, Malayalam, not necessarily in Malayalam. So I request our government, there should be some reservation for, not for Muslims I am asking, differently able. Differently able people are
Manya Sadas, please conclude.
I can get some more, I can get the BJP time now. So they will give, because I am supporting the bill. Yeah. Agree no? Yeah, see, they are agreeing.
No. Please conclude.
But you are not agreeing. This is the problem with you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I am accepting the word of Thambidurai.
Please conclude.
Conclude.
माननीय सदस्य सुश्री इंदुबाला गोस्वामी, आपके पास 10 मिनट हैं।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदया। त्रिभुवन सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय विधेयक 2025 पर बोलने का मौका देने के लिए आपका आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ। सभापति महोदया, देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में बीते 10 वर्ष से अधिक का कार्यकाल सेवा, सुशासन और गरीब कल्याण को समर्पित रहा है। यही कारण है कि यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपनी दूसरी टर्म में ही सहकारिता क्षेत्र के लिए अलग मंत्रालय की घोषणा की। इस मंत्रालय की जिम्मेदारी भी कुशल संगठनकर्ता गृह मंत्री जी को दी, जिन्होंने सहकारिता क्षेत्र में अग्रणी भूमिका निभाई है। इतना ही नहीं, इस मंत्रालय के लिए 1186 करोड़ से अधिक के बजट का प्रावधान किया, जो यूपीए सरकार के बजट से लगभग 10 गुना से अधिक है। यूपीए सरकार के कार्यकाल 2013-14 में सहकारिता के लिए मात्र 122 करोड़ के बजट का ही प्रावधान था। इतना कम बजट होने के कारण 100 से अधिक सहकारी शुगर मिल्स बंद हो गई। कितनी ही सहकारी समितियां बजट न मिलने के कारण ठप पड़ गईं। मोदी सरकार ने डेयरी सहकारी योजना के अंतर्गत सहकारी समितियों और किसान उत्पादक संगठनों एफपीओज के आधुनिकीकरण और क्षमता निर्माण के लिए 5000 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान किया है, जो यूपीए सरकार से 2 गुना ज्यादा है। सभापति महोदया, आज सहकारिता क्षेत्र देश के विकास में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है। आजाद भारत में पहली बार ऐसा मंत्रालय बनाया गया है जो ब्रांड न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ सहकारिता में अपनी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है। कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर का एक सेपरेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, लीगल एंड पॉलिसी मेकिंग फ्रेमवर्क बनाया गया है, जिसके माध्यम से आज कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर को सुदृढ़ता देने के लिए, उसके विस्तारीकरण के लिए महत्वपूर्ण कदम इस मंत्रालय द्वारा उठाए जा रहे हैं। माननीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में और श्री अमित शाह जी के कुशल क्रियान्वयन क्षमता से भारत के सहकारिता सेक्टर में एक नया रेवोल्यूशन आया है। बजट में सहकारिता क्षेत्र को टैक्स संबंधित रियायतें देने से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने वाली नई सहकारी समितियों को फायदा मिला है। उपसभापति महोदया, सरकारी क्षेत्र में नए नियम बनाने से और इन्हें आर्थिक सुदृढ़ता देने से अब पैक्स, डेयरी, मत्स्य पालन, अन्न भंडारण, जन औषधि केंद्र जैसे 30 से अधिक विविध क्षेत्रों में व्यावसायिक गतिविधियां संचालित करने वाली सहकारी समितियां लाभान्वित हुई हैं। सभापति महोदया, मोदी सरकार ने देश में 10,000 FPOs बनाने का लक्ष्य रखा था। एक अलग सहकारी मंत्रालय होने का नतीजा ये है कि आज देश में 8,000 PFO का गठन हो चुका है और इनमें से कई PFO की सक्सेस स्टोरी की चर्चा आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर हो रही है। सहकारी क्षेत्र में महिलाओं की भागीदारी आज 60% से अधिक हो गई है। मोदी सरकार का मानना है कि संपूर्ण सहकार की परिकल्पना महिलाओं की सहकारी आंदोलन में अग्रणी भूमिका के बिना संभव ही नहीं है। इसी बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए मोदी सरकार ने अब बहु राज्य सहकारी समितियां, MSCs और प्राथमिक कृषि साख समितियां, पैक्स के लिए महिला निदेशकों की नियुक्ति अनिवार्य कर दी है। सरकार का ये कदम महिलाओं को सहकारी समितियों में प्रबंधकीय पदों पर महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाने में प्रेरित करेगा। आज डेयरी और कृषि में सहकारिता से जुड़े किसानों में अधिकतर संख्या महिलाओं की है। महिलाओं के सहकारी सामर्थ्यों को बढ़ाने के लिए मोदी सरकार ने सहकार से जुड़ी नीतियों और योजनाओं को प्राथमिकता दी है। मोदी सरकार ने महिलाओं में उद्यमशीलता बढ़ाने के लिए नंदिनी सहकार योजना शुरू की है, जिससे सहकारी समितियों में महिलाओं का नेतृत्व बढ़ा है। NCCT और बेमनीकॉम जैसी प्रशिक्षण इकाइयों ने डेयरी, हथकरघा, माइक्रो क्रेडिट, ग्रामीण उद्यमिता, मधुमक्खी पालन, औद्योगिक सहकारी समितियों आदि जैसे क्षेत्रों को कवर करते हुए कई कौशल विकास कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए हैं। इनमें महिलाएं मुख्य रूप से प्रतिभागिता के रूप में अपनी पार्टिसिपेशन कर रही है। वर्ष 2020-21 में लगभग 40,288 महिलाओं ने प्रशिक्षण लिया, जिसमें लगभग 10,000 महिलाएं थीं। 2021-22 में लगभग 62,474 लोगों ने प्रशिक्षण लिया, इसमें लगभग 15,000 महिलाएं थीं। और 2022-23 में लगभग 2,01,507 लोगों ने प्रशिक्षण लिया, जिसमें लगभग 78,000 महिलाएं थीं। नेशनल कोऑपरेटिव डेवलपमेंट कॉरपोरेशन NTDC ने महिला सहकारी समितियों को लगभग 5,715 करोड़ रुपए वितरित किए हैं, जिनसे 1.56 करोड़ से अधिक महिला शक्ति लाभान्वित हुई है। उपसभापति महोदय, जन औषधि केंद्र जो आज गरीब व मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों के स्वास्थ्य के सुविधा स्रोत बन रहे हैं, आज सहकारिता मंत्रालय पैक्स के माध्यम से जन औषधि केंद्रों को बढ़ावा दे रही है, जिससे एक तरफ आम नागरिकों को बेहद सस्ती जेनरिक दवाइयों का लाभ मिल रहा है, वहीं ये पैक्स भी आर्थिक का स्रोत बन रहे हैं। सभापति महोदय, सहकारिता को लेकर संविधान निर्माता भी कितने गंभीर थे, इस बात का अंदाजा आप इसी बात से लगा सकते हैं कि इसे संविधान के फंडामेंटल राइट्स के अंतर्गत आर्टिकल 19 में दर्शाया गया है। DPSP के 43B और भारतीय संविधान के पार्ट B में भी इसे निर्देशित किया गया है, क्योंकि पुरातन समय से ही भारत के आर्थिक विकास का ढांचा सहकारिता पर निर्भर रहा है। इतिहास गवाह है कि जब भी देश पर कोई आर्थिक संकट आया तो इन सहकारी समितियों ने आगे बढ़कर देश को इस संकट से उबारने में बेहद महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। सहकारिता सेक्टर ने निर्बल, निर्धन, गरीब, पीड़ित, शोषित लोगों के जीवन में बहुत अहम भूमिका निभाई है। जो लोग सिस्टम को नहीं समझते, उनके लिए एक दूसरे की मदद करके, एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ के आगे बढ़ने का नाम ही सहकारिता है। सभी जानते हैं कि अमूल भी इसी आंदोलन से निकला है, जो आज डेयरी प्रोडक्शन व्यापार में अमूल ने एक अमिट छाप छोड़ी है। इसी क्षेत्र में मदर डेयरी भी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रही है। खादी को आज भारतीय सहकारी समितियों ने भारत में ही नहीं, विश्व में भी उच्चतम शिखर पर पहुंचा दिया है। आज देश में 8 लाख से अधिक सहकारी समितियां हैं, जो कृषि, मत्स्य, डेयरी सहित न जाने कितने क्षेत्रों में काम कर रही हैं। और अगर संख्या के हिसाब से देखें तो आज हम विश्व के सबसे बड़े सहकारी समूहों में शामिल हैं। हर दूसरे घर का कोई ना कोई सदस्य किसी न किसी रूप से सहकारिता से जुड़ा है। अध्यक्षा महोदया, सहकारिता सिर्फ मुनाफा कमाने का साधन नहीं है, बल्कि मानवता के विकास का भी रास्ता है। भारतीय संस्कृति के साथ साथ पारिवारिक व सामाजिक जीवन के विकास का भी मूल मंत्र है। यही कारण है कि आज भारत की सहकारिता क्षेत्र में 60% भागीदारी है। इसका अंदाजा आप इस बात से लगा सकते हैं कि कृषि वितरण में 29%, कृषि क्रेडिट में 30%, उर्वरक वितरण में 35%, उर्वरक उत्पादन में 25%, चीनी उत्पादन में 35%, दुग्ध उत्पादन में 15%, गेहूं उत्पादन में 13%, दलहन में 20%, मत्स्य उत्पादन में 21% योगदान सहकारी क्षेत्र से आता है। सभापति महोदया, 2019-20 के एक आंकड़े के अनुसार डेयरी सहकारिता ने भारत में लगभग 4.80 करोड़ लीटर दूध लगभग 1.7 करोड़ सदस्यों से इकट्ठा किया है। इससे ही आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि सहकारिता कितने लोगों को प्रभावित कर रही है। इस सब के बावजूद इस क्षेत्र को यूपीए सरकार ने हमेशा अनदेखी की, जिसके कारण स्टैंडर्ड मानकों, कौशल, गुणवत्ता और प्रोफेशनलिज्म की कमी से यह क्षेत्र पिछड़ता गया। आज सहकारी क्षेत्र।
माननीय सदस्य, प्लीज कंक्लूड। आपका समय समाप्त हुआ।
हाँ?
10 मिनट
बोलते जाइए ना। क्या बोल रहे?
प्लीज कंक्लूड।
आज सहकारी क्षेत्र भारत की ही नहीं, विश्व की अर्थव्यवस्था में भी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है, जिसको ध्यान में रखते हुए आज जर्मनी, केन्या, कोलंबिया, स्पेन में सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय बने हैं।
धन्यवाद।
सहकारी विश्वविद्यालय विधेयक।
टाइम हो गया आपका समाप्त।
मेरे को 15 मिनट है।
10 मिनट है।
बोलते रहो ना, छोड़ो।
10 मिनट थे। 10 मिनट थे।
विधेयक 2025 लाकर मोदी सरकार ने,
इसमें 10 मिनट ही लिखा हुआ है। जी धन्यवाद। माननीय सदस्य श्री जीसी चंद्रशेखर,
मैडम,
आपके पास 10 मिनट है।
मैडम, 14 मिनट्स
10 मिनट्स है यहाँ।
नो, 31 टोटल 31 मिनट्स है। 18 मिनट्स है स्पोकन दिग्विजय सिंह जी। 14 मिनट्स
14 मिनट बचे हैं पार्टी के।
14 minutes because they have spoken only 18 minutes out of 31 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, Madam. I'll speak on Tribhuvan Sahakar University Bill. This name Tribhuvan is inspired by Tribhuvan Das Patel, great freedom fighter and key person in cooperative movement in India, founded Kaira District Cooperative Milk Producers Union, or AMUL, played a crucial role in mobilizing farmers against British monopoly. And also, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru organized the importance of cooperative model and supported its expansion and was committed to strengthen cooperative movement. He inaugurated AMUL first dairy plant in 1955. Cooperative institutions are not just money business. but symbol of reason, pride and self-reliance. Same like Amul, I proud to say, in my state, our Nandini, Karnataka Milk Federation, KMF, is second largest dairy cooperative in India. Started with 4 crores in 1975. Today, it has reached around 27,000 crores. With 15,210 village-level cooperative dairies, out of that, 4,340 cooperative dairies run exclusively by women. This is the women empowerment in rural area, madam, where approximately 27 lakh farmers supply milk daily, around 1 crore liters of milk procured by the government by giving around 1,800 crores annually subsidy. Madam, why I mentioned Nandini here, during the Northeast Cooperative Dairy Conclave in Guwahati, our Home Minister stated that 5 multi-city dairy cooperatives would be merged with Amul by advocating one nation, one society to favor Amul. Madam, this is against the federal cooperative system of the country. That decision like this should not be encouraged. How much Amul is imported to Gujarat? In the similar way, Nandini is pride of our 7 crores Kannadigas. At any cost, at any moment, we will not allow to merge Nandini with any other societies. For your kind information, Karnataka is the first state in the country to start Agriculture Credit Cooperative Society in 1905 in a very small village called Kanaginahal of Gadag district under the leadership of Sri Siddanagowda Sanna Ramegowda Patil, who is recognized as a father of cooperative movement in Karnataka. Madam, on this occasion, we have to remember the contribution of Dr. Varghese Kurian, known as father of white revolution. His contribution is remarkable. Madam, I would like to mention some of my observations in the bill. The central government will decide key positions like vice chancellors and executive board members. This could lead to political interference and reduce the university independence. The bill says IRMA will remain independent, but in reality, it will have to follow central government rules, which could limit decision-making power. Madam, already in the proposed changes in University Grant Commission UGC resolutions that affect the appointment process for university faculty and vice chancellors, the new rules give governors the exclusive power for appoint VCs, replacing the current system where state form such committees. This takes away power from the elected state governments and affect university governance. We have seen already problems in states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala and West Bengal. Madam, not only these states, in all over the country, the governors are interfering the university matters and appointing VCs and registers. It should not happen. Madam, these new rules lower the academic experience required for the VCs, allowing non-academic individuals to take leadership roles. A VC should be the academic leader, not a bureaucrat. This will be increased political interference. Education is in the concurrent list. So why should institutions develop with the state funding and effort will be controlled by the center? The university is being set up in Gujarat, while states like Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu with a strong cooperative sectors being ignored. The bill does not guarantee opportunities for women, young people or tribal communities in cooperative education. The bill does not say whether the university will be funded by the government or private companies, raising concern of the financial stability. The bill plans to merge around 284 cooperative training centers into the university. This may create financial stress and disrupt their current progress. Madam, one system may not work for all. Different regions and different industries like dairy and fisheries have different cooperative needs. A single approach may not work everywhere. The bill says the university will train 8 lakh people every year, but there is no clarity or clear plan how will be achieved and how they will give the jobs for those people. So many universities, especially in Maharashtra and Kerala, already offers cooperative management courses. Instead of creating a new university, the government should improve those existing programs. The bill talks about meeting global education standards, but does not explain how it will work with international institutions and adapt global best practices. Madam, the cooperative is a very big sector. Nearly 8 lakh people are there in the India. 8 lakh societies are there in India, and depositors and dependents are middle class and lower middle class people, but runs by very big sharks. The scams will rarely come to the light. In most of the cases, people will not get the justice at all. For example, Madam, in Karnataka, there are nearly 42,551 cooperative societies, out of which 25,035, nearly 58.86% are under profit, and 14,498, nearly 34.7% are under loss. Madam, just be more precise, I will give one example. In one assembly constituency in Karnataka, Bengaluru, known as Basavanagudi, there are 5 cooperative banks, namely Guru Raghavendra Cooperative Bank, Vasishta Cooperative Bank, Sauharda Cooperative Bank, Nagaratna Cooperative Bank, and Guru Sarvabhauma Cooperative Bank. These all 5 bank scam affected 2 lakh innocent depositor families. 90% of the people deposited their retirement fund meant for their livelihood and health care. Due to this distress, many depositors lost their life. Even though the state government has given the cases to CBI, but CBI is not taking up the investigation to provide justice. Who will hear the cry of these common people, Madam? Madam, I'll say one thing. In these cooperative banks, most of the people, politicians, irrespective of the political party, I'm telling you, all the politicians and politician relatives, they have taken the loan. Not a small loan, Madam, 100 crores, 150 crores. After 10-15 years, they are not paid the interest, even interest. This all accumulated, and also this money, they are not paid back. Madam, now those people who they are deposited, those people are getting full money or not. But at least these people who cheated the bank, who cheated those people, because they have to punish them. I'll urge the government through you, they have to take a necessary action against them. Madam, then one part of the cooperative sector is suffering due to the malfunction of the system. Lastly, I quote Sakar se Samruddhi. Madam, this name is very beautiful. Really, I'm telling you. All the captions for the programs names, BJP gives very fancy names, and also they market it very well. Wherever this program, whether this program will reach people or not, but names will become very famous. As you know that, Madam, most of the programs are not new programs. It was there earlier also. They renamed, rebranded. So, for example, National Manufacturing Policy in 2011, Make in India in 2014, National E-Governance Plan, Digital India in 2015, Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, that is 2008, Ayushman Bharat in 2018, Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan 2012, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in 2014, Rajiv Awas Yojana in 2009, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in 2015. Sir, I will tell you, this central government will give only 2 lakh rupees to the state government. State government will give 5 lakhs rupees to the house, each house. But state government will not take the advantage or credit. But the central government, just giving a 2 lakhs rupees, they taking credit like anything. Out of this, the state government will give 5 lakhs rupees, central government is only giving 2 lakh rupees. On that, they are charging 18% GST. Totally, they will collect 18 into 7. So that around 1,26,000 rupees they have collected back. They will get only the central government contribution will be only 75,000, but they will take the credit like anything. Sir, this is the position how BJP will take the credit. So National Girl Child Day program, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, just got the name, name got changed. Situation has not got changed, sir. Sir, from 2014 to 2022. Total approximately 2,99,520 rape cases were reported across India as per the NCRB data. So for the program between 14 to 15 to 19 to 20, 848 crores were allocated and released was only 6 to 22 crores. In this, nearly 78.91% just went for publicity purpose. Just imagine, sir, publicity, how they are issuing spending the money. Sir, सिर्फ नाम बदलने से काम नहीं होगा, sir. असली काम, the program has to reach the people. Then only it will happen. Sir, this university also should be useful to the people. not for only publicity sake. Sir, protect university autonomy, uphold federalism, and respect the needs of aspiration of the each state, because state and center, they have to work hand to hand. They should not take away the power from the state. It is not correct. So since we are living in a federal system, the center has to support state government. Thank you very much, sir.
Next, honorable members, Nadimul Haq.
Sir, I rise today on behalf of the All India Trinamool Congress to share my observations on the Tribhuvan Sahakari University Bill 2025. This bill, much like many of the government's recent initiatives, is long on grand promises but short on real solutions. We are being told that this university will revolutionize cooperative education and create employment, but in reality it does neither. Instead, it is yet another attempt by this government to centralize power, divert resources from real priorities, and mislead the people with hollow assurances. Institute of Rural Management Anand, IRMA's administrative and academic autonomy will be subjected to framework specified by the union government. The bill's provisions might erode the work of the cooperative movement, which thrives on decentralized and self-governing principles. If IRMA's autonomy can be overridden, it sets a precedent for other autonomous institutions to be similarly absorbed into centralized frameworks. The spirit of cooperatives has always been one of local autonomy and community-driven decision-making. Cooperatives thrive when farmers, small traders, and local stakeholders are in control. But time and again, this government has shown its deep distrust of decentralized governance. From the GST regime to the amendments in the cooperative banking laws, and now with this bill, the pattern is clear. The BJP government wants to bring everything under the control of the union, leaving no room for states or local bodies to make decisions. This bill is yet another example of how cooperative federalism is being steadily dismantled, replaced by a command and control approach that weakens the very institutions it claims to support. This bill is one which was rushed through without sufficient consultation with key stakeholders. Moreover, what have you done on education? 1 out of 3 sanctioned Eklavya schools are not functional. Funds for states like West Bengal are stopped because we don't accept the name PM Shri. In 2023, the union government was supposed to give 1,750 crores to West Bengal under the Samagra Shiksha mission. However, only 310 crores has been released so far. The union's expedition on education has been 0.37% of GDP. So what is the use of setting 6% target in the new education policy? Over 5,000 teaching posts in the central universities are vacant. So on the other hand, in Bengal, 47 lakh youth have received industry-oriented skill training under Utkarsh Bangla. 10 lakh youths absorbed by the industry. 1 crore girl students have benefited from Kanya Shri. In 13 years, we have 30 new universities and 24 new government MBBS medical colleges, sir, which have been established. 4 crore students have benefited under Oikoshri and 1 crore students under Shiksha Shri scholarships. 80,000 credit cards under Students' Credit Card Scheme and 2,800 crore bank loans have been sanctioned. Our party has always believed in strengthening cooperative institutions while ensuring that their autonomy and regional character remain intact. If the government is truly committed to establishing an independent institution that is free from political and bureaucratic interference, accountable to stakeholders rather than to the union government, and genuinely focused on empowering cooperatives rather than controlling them, then we are open to supporting this initiative. But if this bill is merely a tool to bring cooperatives under centralized control, then we cannot and will not support it. The government must make its stance clear. It wants a university for cooperatives or a university to control cooperatives. So that is my question.
Next, Honorable Girirajan and Honorable Member speaking Tamil.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Before I start, I would like to record in this August House the homogeneous contribution done by our leader, Dr. Kalangar, in the field of cooperative federal system in the country. No other leader in this country has done so much to the establishment and development of cooperative federal system to boost the life and nature of poor people in the country. Sir, the title of the bill should be in English. The title of the bill should be in English. Why impose Hindi or Sanskrit unnecessarily even on naming the bill? The kind of Hindi imposition is not at all good for the country like India, where the unity in diversity is the backbone of the democratic nation. Don't break the backbone of our democracy. Sir, Tribhuvan Shahari University Bill 2025 is aimed to enhance the cooperative education, training, research, policy, development bill. This bill set to foundation for the knowledge-driven, globally competitive cooperative sector. In this junction, I would like to say something regarding the UGC is unnecessarily interfering with the functioning of state universities, including unnecessarily nominating persons to the selection committee for selecting vice chancellors of state universities. Sir, UGC has no power to interfere with the state universities, and because of governors' interference in Tamil Nadu, many universities are functioning without vice chancellors. Sir, the poor cannot. Sir, cooperatives are foundation of national development. Cooperatives are also the foundation of local government organizations as the foundation of national development of cooperative democracy. Sir, I proudly say the first cooperative society was started in 1904. The first cooperative society in the country was started in 1904 in a village called Tiruvur. In the present Tiruvallur district of Tamil Nadu. Sir, I kindly request this honorable house near the Chennai. So one more university to set up in Tamil Nadu at Tiruvur, where first cooperative society started in this country. Sir, the poor cannot do anything for their own benefit on their own. They can succeed only if they make joint efforts. So he emphasized the need for cooperatives. In Tamil, Urukudi Teriltaldan Terrakaram. If a people gather together and pulls a chariot, the chariot will move. Sir, today cooperative systems are operating in all sectors, and farmers, dairy farmers, weavers, manufacturers, goat breeders, sugarcane growers, housing, village workers, fishermen, women, all sectors are forming their own cooperatives to protect their interests. The cooperative movement played an important role in Negr's mixed economy. Sir, only 1 minute, nearly 30,000 cooperative societies are functioning effectively in Tamil Nadu. The economy will be maintained and democracy will be maintained. This movement should function according to the wishes of the members without political interference. Cooperative federal system is the fundamental principles of our constitution. Democracy. Our Honorable Chief Minister Thalapathy M.K. Stalin has reiterated that if there is any disturbance to cooperative federalism, Tamil Nadu and the people of Tamil Nadu will stand in front to oppose it and save cooperative federalism in the country. Thank you, sir.
Next speaker. Under whose rule?
1 minute.
Under which rule? Your point of order is under which rule?
Honorable member misleading the house that you want to tell. 2010. 2010 UGC regulation framed by DMK and UGC. That is why, sir, 2010 the UGC guidelines given to nominate, select the UGC member in the committee. That is why the problem is going on Tamil Nadu. That is why not other things. This is the information. I want to give wrong information is given. I want to give information. This is the UPA government 2010 UGC regulated to nominate the vice chancellor to select vice committee. That is the thing. Thanks.
Nothing will go to the record. Now, I like to request Honorable Member Dr. Bikramjit Singh Sahni to speak.
Chairman, sir, I rise today to discuss the transformative power of cooperative movements, especially in the context of Sahkar se Samriddhi. In a land where Gandhiji's methods have found home, the cooperative sector has been not only the backbone of rural empowerment, but has proven to be sustainable model for economic and social upliftment in our nation. चेयरमैन सर, हमें देखना होगा कि कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट जिसका आधार सहकार से समृद्धि तक है, ये सहकारिता से हमारे गरीब किसानों की, जो हाउसिंग कोऑपरेटिव की, जो गरीब लोगों के कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स में पैसा जमा हुआ, उससे कितनी समृद्धि आई। कोऑपरेटिव क्या है? कोऑपरेटिव है जहां इंडिविजुअल्स इकट्ठे होके अपने रिसोर्सेज को पूल करके रिस्क शेयर करते हैं और अपने कलेक्टिव स्ट्रेंथ से सबको बेनिफिट होता है। दिस एथोस इज एविडेंट अक्रॉस इंडिया where cooperatives have played a pivotal role in empowering farmers, boosting rural economies. India's cooperative movement is not merely an economic initiative, it is tied to a social empowerment. हमारे देश में cooperatives कई सेक्टर्स में हैं जो आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, डेयरी फार्मिंग, मिल्क, एग्रीकल्चर कोऑपरेटिव्स, हाउसिंग कोऑपरेटिव्स, फाइनेंस, हमने देखा कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स, टेक्सटाइल्स में, रूरल क्रेडिट में, जो हमारी प्राइमरी रूरल सोसाइटीज हैं। कोऑपरेटिव्स कंटिन्यू टू फेस सेवरल चैलेंजेस। मैं समझता हूं कि जनरल कोऑपरेटिव्स में हमने देखा लैक ऑफ प्रोफेशनल मैनेजमेंट, internal conflicts among members coming from various backgrounds, very weak leadership, और ये cooperatives, the issue is transparency, because these cooperatives don't come under purview of institutions like Comptroller and Auditor General CAG nor CVC. Governance issue is a big concern of our cooperatives. आपको हैरानी होगी इस बात को सुन के कि वेयर एज द एज लिमिट फॉर ए नॉर्मल गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट इज 58, some of the cooperative CEOs can continue well into their 80 years of age, highlighting a significant gap in governance. Despite the success stories, Sahkari and cooperative movement faces various challenges. Now let us turn to today's topic of Tribhuvan Sahkari University Bill. Amul, originating in Anand, Gujarat, Amul stands as a beacon. त्रिभुवन दास पटेल जी ने सरदार पटेल जी के गाइडेंस में इसकी नींव रखी, पर आज हम अपने कर्तव्य से उल्लंघन करेंगे अगर डॉक्टर वर्गीस कुरियन, जिन्होंने 1946 में इस आनंद को, इस आनंद अमूल ब्रांड को, आज उसमें 36 लाख फार्मर मेंबर हैं। मेरा समझता हूं कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा कोऑपरेटिव है, 60,000 करोड़ रुपया इसका रेवेन्यू है। तो बिल प्रपोजेस द एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ त्रिभुवन सहकारी यूनिवर्सिटी, और मैं समझता हूं कि ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटियां जो हमारी अग्रेरियन स्टेट्स हैं, पंजाब है, हरियाणा है, यूपी है, वहां ऐसे कैंपसेस बननी चाहिए, ऐसी कोऑपरेटिव यूनिवर्सिटीज बननी चाहिए, ताकि हमारे डेयरी फार्मिंग में हमारे किसान भाइयों को, हमारे प्राइमरी जो एग्रीकल्चर सोसाइटीज है, और मैं तो यहां तक कहूंगा कि क्लस्टर फार्मिंग में जो बड़े कोऑपरेटिव्स के साथ हमें छोटे कोऑपरेटिव्स भी 5-7 गांवों को इकट्ठा करके